Hi.
Yep.
Everybody should be able to hear us.
Hello.
Hi.
Let me check my cam and mic and make sure everything's the right ones.
Hey there, guys. Looking good.
Hello.
Yep, I got the right camera. Got the right mic. Good to go.
Who are we missing? I'm missing Natalie. Did I get my... No, I didn't get over to Natalie. Wait a minute. Don't do anything without Natalie. My Twitter is being stupid. I gotta use yours again. Where's your Twitter? Where's your Twitter? There it is. Damn it. There we go. Alright, thank God. Sorry for the mess up, guys, in the chat. Hi, guys. You doing good? Yes. We all saw Artie. You did a nice shirt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Here's Mike.
Hello. Are we live again?
Yes, we are.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Back
Very
with a
good.
vengeance. Hey, Anacito, what up? Hello, Cliff. From Beverly. Don't say hi to me, Beverly. That's good. That's fine. That's fine. I get it. AMT don't love you no more. Okay. And we're back, well, aren't we? Yes.
In studio, it still says no data.
Because we're not in the studio anymore. We're in here now.
I was gonna say, I see us on the stream, so.
Right, so...
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Let me bring Natalie in. I forget that I have to scroll down sometimes. Sorry,
Yeah.
Nat.
Hi.
Hey, man.
All right, we're all back.
The best one.
We made it.
The best of us.
Yeah.
Let's put you up top. Y'all pretty.
Yeah, but before we get back into it, just want to make another little announcement. As of yesterday, I am fully vaccinated.
Yay!
Yeah. So take that, anti-vaxxers.
That's
And
right.
I bought a T-shirt. It's waiting for me when I get home on Thursday that says "Fully vaccinated, thanks science."
Put your headphones in.
Oh yeah, I even hear myself echoing. So, yeah.
That's great.
All right.
I need that
I get fully
t-shirt.
vaccinated on the 2nd.
I would love to be able to get the vaccination. Still working with my oncologist to find out if I can.
Yeah, make sure.
Okay.
I agree, Nozark and Nancy.
Yeah. So Artie, you were talking about.
I was looking at the chat, and I feel like people were saying I should start all over again.
Yeah, people weren't hearing you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And it was such
so-
a good explanation too.
I know. All right. So
Genius.
again, I'll try to keep it as short and concise as I can. Okay. The plaintiff in the case is a Sovsit who decided to also be a frauditor. He made a records request under Washington state law, public records law, for some police information. Under Washington's state law, media organizations are able to get additional information that is normally withheld from the public. The guy was withheld that information. He sued, claiming that his YouTube channel is defined as a media organization under Washington state law. The public records law points to Washington's definition of a media organization under its privilege, evidentiary privilege for press, for members of the press, meaning that press are allowed to retain their sources, etc. Anyway, they define a media organization under that law as an entity. What they're saying, and essentially what the court said.
Excuse me, is there a page that I should be bringing up for this?
If you're able to go
Legal
to
analysis.
Yeah, the analysis.
I'm gonna find it for you because I'm in it right now.
Thank you,
we got
Kevin.
I'm gonna find it for you. Hold on.
Thank you,
not
thank
6. Okay, analysis starts on page 7.
Yeah. So, well, here under page 13, where they talk about is where they talk about entity, and that's
Okay.
the key
Thank you.
key element in terms of where they're going. They define entity as being an organization separate from an individual. And what they're essentially what they're saying is, just because you have his YouTube channel, which is Liberty's Champion, is indistinguishable from himself, an individual. His YouTube channel did not constitute an entity under the definition of media organization under Washington's public records law. Therefore, his YouTube channel was not a media organization, and therefore he could not get that information that he was looking for under Washington's public records law.
Right, and something that I said, I've been saying for a long time, and I believe thoroughly that the judges cheated off of me when they rendered their decision, is that if just by simply having a YouTube channel you get to say that you're a journalist, then the word journalist means nothing.
Now, what they said, that the judges in the decision, and I know the dissent talked about it too. The judges said, we acknowledge that the law as it was written was in 2007, and obviously the internet landscape has changed since then. And they acknowledge that, you know, with people with the abundance of cameras and people able to become citizen journalists, as auditors like to claim themselves, that it is possible that the definition of media organization could be broadened or should be broadened. However, they still defined it as it was defined in 2007. The court said that that is a job for the legislature and not our job to redefine what a media organization is. So we are holding ourselves back, and it's up to the legislature to redefine a media organization to keep up with the current times and the current technology.
And that's not an abnormal decision there. I mean, like a lot of courts always say, it's not our job to redefine a statute. So I'm not surprised they said that.
Well, let me stir the pot here.
I think I need to stir the pot too. You go first. I'm very excited.
In my humble opinion, I'm not a constitutional scholar or anything like that. I actually like the holding in the sense that these people are annoying and I'd like them to be able to be restricted. But if you said, Mike Gravelin, who do you want to represent? I want to represent the auditor. I absolutely abhor the idea of the government deciding who and who is not a media company and infringing rights based on the First Amendment. Plain and simple. Even though I like the result in this case, I cannot imagine the United States Supreme Court saying, yes, that's okay. That's just the way I see it.
Here's why I don't think they'd even take the case in the first place, because it has to do with the state statute. I know it also has to do with the First Amendment, but at the same time,
First Amendment and freedom of the press.
Yeah, at the same time, like this is all about Washington's specific statute. Now, I was like looking through Ohio's like law and everything. We don't define news media, so I don't think this case would have any effect in like my state, and I'm guessing a lot of states probably don't define news media. You know, for some odd reason, Washington has a very in-depth definition of what it is. I don't think this decision is really going to be applicable in a lot of different states. I think it's going to be an outlier.
I would also agree with that, but Natalie, I know you wanted to chime in.
Yes.
Wait, before you do, hon, they're asking for slow mode trigger.
Oh yeah,
That's all I need to say.
I had slow mode on before, but I think maybe when we restarted it went away. So let me do that. And while I do that, I just, again, if there is freedom of the press, if everybody is press, then what does freedom of the press even mean anymore?
Well, now they have something to say about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I also take a different perspective on this, and it's because my cat just jumped on my chair. They're not
that's why you have a different perspective.
Yeah, they're not usually in here when I'm in here. Okay, you're doing too much, and now you're on the table. I'm sorry. Sorry. Please be good. She won't.
You mean the cat jumped up on his or her table?
Right. That's why they're not usually allowed in here, because they act up. So anyway, you guys don't want to see my cat's butt.
That's not true.
My boyfriend has a cat, and he's always on his shoulder. So that's all
I'm gonna have to probably take a. Okay, so I'm gonna get it together. Okay, so So I'm having a like a lot of mental synapses going off right now because I'm absolutely dealing with something just like this currently. Okay, so most states, when it comes to freedom of information laws, including the federal government, do not make a distinction between the media and the people. So it doesn't make that distinction in a lot of states. So this is actually kind of that distinction altogether, saying a media organization and then defining what the media organization is very particular to Washington state. So in my state, everybody can file what's called an MPIA, Maryland Public Information Act, to get certain records, including police records. And up until a certain period of time, their misconduct records were not included in that request. But the law goes into effect in October that their misconduct records are not covered by the Police Bill of Rights. And so misconduct records in particular can be disclosed to anyone that puts in a request for them, whether they're media or not, right? So I take a different approach from this because although we know that the intent of a lot of these First Amendment frauditors is nefarious, they're not seeking to really get to the truth. They're not seeking to uncover some type of ill. There is actual misconduct that does occur, and not allowing the public to have access to it because of some arbitrary designation of what's a journalist and what's not is very short-sighted, because people try to seek these records not just to publish them in a newspaper or to put them in a YouTube video. They might seek the records because they were the victim of some type of police misconduct. They want to file a lawsuit. They want to file criminal charges. They want to back up that the thing that happened to them actually happened to them, or their family member might have had something happen to them. So this is a very common thing all across the country that is a movement that's becoming very problematic. So it shouldn't just be limited to the press. On the other hand, if we are getting into what the definition of a media organization is, clearly a single guy on YouTube is not a media organization. It's the state's business how they want to limit their laws. But in my mind, if the Supreme Court ever did decide to take this up, or a federal appellate court, which I think once it gets outside of the state of Washington and gets to its local circuit federal court, I think that a ruling is going to get overturned, because the whole media designation thing is not really what's called for in the First Amendment, right? So it's you have freedom of speech, freedom of the press, but you don't have the rights of the press should not exceed the rights of the people, right? There's case law that extends to that. And so states are not allowed to curtail the rights of people and just say they can give people more rights than what other states give. They can give people more access than what other states give. But what they can't do is give the people less rights and less access than what the Constitution calls for. So I would predict, unfortunately, that if they're making that designation that you're not entitled to these records because instead of being the Wall Street Journal, Fox News, or CNN, you are a weirdo guy on YouTube, that's going to be really problematic as far as First Amendment analysis is concerned. That's just, it concerns me, I guess is what I would say.
The weirdest thing about all this, though, is what they actually were exempted from getting. Because it's literally just photographs and the month and year of birth of the people involved. That's it. That's what we were arguing over.
It's for the officers, because again, his whole intent was to retaliate against officers who arrested him and detained him, which is weird because he tried to make an intent in the oral arguments. As a matter of fact, you can go to his channel, and he has a copy on the channel of the oral arguments by both attorneys. And his attorney, the plaintiff's attorney, tried to make an intent-based argument on the intent of news gathering, which I feel like is a very dangerous one to set.
No.
He tripped himself into falling into that, and I really think it really hurt him, very much so. Because as we all know, content-based definitions do not sit well in any aspect. But notwithstanding that, the way I look at it, I think that this is a very narrow decision, because they actually note, or the plaintiff and the First Amendment clinic, I'm looking at a footnote on page 15 of the decision. They also make a note that the definition of news media must be construed broadly so as to not infringe on the First Amendment's freedom of the press. However, there are no freedom of the press implications if there is no news media. Further, there is no First Amendment right to public information. The First and 14th Amendments do not guarantee the public a right of access to information generated or controlled by the government, nor do they guarantee the press any basic right of access superior to that of the public generally. End quote. Hopkins versus KQED 438 US 1. But my argument here is that this is I understand where Mike is coming from in terms of, and I agree in general sense that it's very dangerous for the court to define what is and is not press, especially in light of today's current technology, where just about anybody can be press. I think that the decision today.
I'm sorry. Cliff, can you please go back to the old stream? There are people there asking for this one. Did you shut that one down, Schrodinger? You gotta kill that stream, hon.
Okay, let me go do that.
Thank you. Sorry, Artie. I'm sorry, Artie.
Oh my God, I just lost my train of thought.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, that stream is now ended.
Thank you.
What was I saying?
Well, Artie, you brought up a good point, and I think that's one of the scariest things about this for me, which is, first of all, before I would have agreed with you, but I don't think that CNN or Fox has any superiority over me on YouTube in terms of reliability. I don't, and I think more people get their information from people like us than those outlets now, currently. This is not the future. This is already happening. Number one. Number two. What we have in this country, and it's very dangerous, and I don't want to get political. I'll do this very generically. But the First Amendment protects speech, and the government can't make these rules. But what we have is they farm out censorship to private organizations. I'll leave it at that.
But
if you have any sense, you know what I'm talking about. I don't even feel comfortable saying exactly what I'm talking about. That's how bad it is.
I think where I'm coming from in that respect. Okay, I think I caught back to what I was saying in that the other organizations states they define news media, but in other narrow context. And for the example being, the issuances of press passes, for example. I would imagine that, say, for example, and the NYPD, if they're going to issue out press passes so that whenever there's a press conference or for a major event, there's only so many people that they can invite into a room when they're going to announce something. And I would expect that they're going to define what a press pass is, or have a form that they have to fill out, and will have to divvy out a limited amount of press passes to see who can come in or not to be present when they announce some major news event.
Right,
but
and the White House does that.
The White House press pool.
A YouTuber can't just show up and say, "Oh, I'm going into the this press conference in the White House," but what of these people that they use open records requests as a weapon? So they go to City Hall or police station, and I spend hours a day watching these videos, so I know their tactic. They're not there because they genuinely want information. They're there to ask for an open records request purely to start a confrontation. Or in other instances, they have a beef with City Hall, so they just flood them with public information requests. Oh, I want I want the salary and the conduct record or whatever of everybody that works here. And they basically, like the one town that I did that video on about maybe a year ago, City Hall came to a screeching stop because they were just flooded with records requests from all over the country, because this guy Otto the Watchdog had all of his subscribers constantly calling and asking for public records, just calling and filling up their voicemail with insults to the chief of police and the mayor and the 72-year-old lady that answers the phone, What of these people?
Well, that's a separate issue. That's an entirely separate issue from the decision, because as somebody who is very, very intimately involved with New Jersey's public records access, that is definitely an issue. I've heard similar horror stories here in New Jersey, not even from auditors, from just I always say this oftentimes. Almost every other small town has that one resident who has a beef with the town and is making that town's a life of living hell for one reason or another. And oftentimes they use the public records access law as a weapon to just inundate the township with these public records requests that the township is required by law to respond within a certain amount of time, and their operations come to a screeching halt, as you said. But that's a separate issue. And in some, I don't know what other states have. New Jersey really doesn't have much in the way of a defense to townships and municipalities, other than being able to seek extensions of time to respond. But it is a weapon that auditors like to use, but that's not really going to change what happens here today, or at least what I mean by today, but Washington's decision. It's simply because
I think it's still in the same ballpark, though.
Yeah, but I think and the last point I wanted to say specifically is that because, as Natalie mentioned, I feel like this is a very rare instance, because I have never heard of any other state that has this sort of carve out for media organizations when it comes to public records access. I can't think of any other state that does that. So that's why I feel like this, while yes, we can celebrate a victory, a minor victory here, it's a very, very, very narrow situation, and really doesn't. I don't think it's going to have any broader implication to any other state in terms of what auditors can or can't do. Or that we can therefore declare that you're not a media organization because it's specifically regarding public records access in Washington State.
Yeah, we might be able to say. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, OBT.
I was gonna say, we may be able to say that you're not a news media organization, but that, at least in my state, and I did a bunch of research to find it, Ohio has nothing that limits certain things to media organizations. So really, I think this decision is going to be not only narrowed to Washington State, but again, it's really narrowed to this request for photographs and the month and date of birth or the month and year of birth for the employees or volunteers of government workers. Like, I don't even know why you would bring that in a lawsuit. I mean, as we've always, I'm sure as most of you have heard before, bad facts make bad law. There was no reason for this suit. Like, I'm sorry. You don't need birth dates. You don't need photographs.
Right. It was just retaliation, or maybe just like a large-scale temper tantrum.
Yeah, it was an ego moment.
Right.
So my concern is that because it's honestly asking for these police officers like date of birth just because you had some interaction with them over, I think they were going to pay tickets or something, and it became sour, and now you want their date of birth and their photographs. It probably creeped the judges out, and they don't want to encourage this type of behavior, but I think they overstep potentially by limiting the definition of media to reach that aim. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They could have, instead of saying that, they could have said that police officers' date of birth is not subject to Freedom of Information Act, PIA, whatever they call them, Police Information Act, whatever the rule was. I forgot, and I was just reading the decision. But they could have just excluded that type of material and said that no one was entitled to it, because it's actually not very difficult to find someone's date of birth and photograph in the digital age outside of their employment records anyway. So they could have just said, get them some other way. You're not going to get them through police records. You can get other things, but those things will be redacted, for the officer's safety, and there's an additional safety interest. But I think they took it a step further. We all know that those guys are not really news media, right? But it only applies in this narrow circumstance of, Information Act, and it does something unnecessary in applying it. And so that's why I think it's really fragile upon review, because on review, they're not going to just say, oh, well, this is only affecting Washington. Washingtonians have a due process right and equal protection under the law to have the same rights as everyone else in the country. And I can't think of a state that limits public information records to just the news organizations, to just big organizations. Really, really think about that here. You know what I'm saying? Like Schrodinger makes a great point. Like, how do we stop these guys from taking and misapprehending and misusing this information? There are ways to do it. I'll talk about that. But think about the vast majority of people who are accessing these records are not First Amendment auditors. They have a larger eminence in our mind because we're here on YouTube and we see them and they're loud and proud on YouTube. But in real life, you would rarely ever come across a person like this. Most of the people making those requests are everyday people that are either doing some type of real journalistic investigation or need it for a personal purpose because of something that's happened in their interaction with the police, right or wrong. So not just the police, other public organizations, right? And I disagreed in the decision when they were like, they said like, oh, there's nothing giving, the citizens the right to these records. But then also they pointed to the dicta or the holdings that say but we have to balance that with the fact that the media doesn't have more rights than everyday people. They're literally giving the media more rights than everyday people. You just can't do that, especially in something like this. So to answer Schrodinger's question about what do you do with people that are abusing the process system, people abuse lawsuits in this country. They abuse the police in this country, as in they call the police when no actual crime is being committed.
Right.
They file lawsuits when nothing has happened. It's frivolous. And then look at this stupid case. He ended up making it worse. He's the one who filed the suit, right? Because it's him versus them. Yeah. Right. So he's so dumb. He filed this lawsuit and made it worse for First Amendment auditors in his state and made it more restrictive on them, but also more restrictive on the people of the state of Washington that are not just him, right? Yeah. So we have these people that abuse this process, and there are actually things that are in place. When it comes to like civil lawsuits, you can be designated what's called a vexatious litigant.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then nothing that you file will go forward unless you can affirmatively show that there is merit for this lawsuit, an additional hurdle that no one else has to cross but you because you're a jerk, right? There are actual harassment laws that are in place. So if you find this information and you use it, I don't know how you use someone's date of birth and their photograph, but maybe you put it on your YouTube page and you're like, this is what this guy looks like. Go beat him up. He's a police officer. Go beat him up when you see him at Walmart. Well, that's a crime. You're inciting violence against this guy. You're making threats against this guy. So you go and you get them and you prosecute them. And that's the thing, is that we stop treating them. It's like they abuse this system, the Freedom of Information records system. They abuse every type of court system that there is available. They abuse the GoFundMe system. They abuse PayPal. They abuse, I hate to say it, but they abuse like public funds, like, welfare and things like that. A lot of them are in public assistance and they're abusing that because they're not reporting the income that they get from YouTube. A lot of them are abusing a bunch of different systems. You don't shut the systems down instead, you prosecute them for their abuses of the system on an individual basis, and you go after them each and every time. And, you don't treat them like, oh, they're just a one-off crazy person. You're like, no, this is actually dangerous. You're making it bad for everyone else in the state. So when you take this information and you misuse it, we're going to prosecute you for that. We're going to sue you for defamation of character. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And you treat the individual instead of like, it's like, when you're spraying for weeds, but it would be like spraying the entire lawn and killing the entire lawn just because you want to get one weed. That's what this is like, in my opinion.
Right. And I think that legislatures around the country, I'm getting an echo from somebody.
Is it me?
I don't know. But legislatures around the country are going to have to tackle these problems that are relatively new. I mean, I think the auditors are 3-4 years old. Like SovSits are a lot older, but the First Amendment auditors, which I define as unemployed people that have no discernible life skill, but have found a way to make money by tricking stupid people into giving them PayPal money when they get arrested. This is a relatively new problem, and I think legislators around the country are going to have to tackle this problem and figure it out. But we're at the 32-minute mark since we restarted, so I think we should get to super chats because I know there's some questions for my lawyer friends.
I was just gonna say real quick. I think Natalie just nailed the entire thing, and I think we're
Yeah,
done.
it was
As usual.
a great synopsis of the problem that has to get addressed somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cliff, if you would.
All right. Yep. All right. So Khalid Al Qasimi, we got a new member. Welcome to Tasers.
Oh,
Mo Army
top
60.
level guy. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Mo Army 67 upgraded membership to Skeptics. Cat Attack for $25 says, I know Natalie is a defense attorney. What areas of the law do the rest of you practice?
So I was a criminal defense attorney and turned appellate attorney for, again, the criminal defense side of things. So I'm basically around the same thing. I just did a lot more appellate work as my career went on.
Trying to get people off death row. I see what you're doing.
Oh, if I only could get a death penalty case, that would have been amazing.
All right.
Artie, if you don't mind answering.
Currently, I currently go do regulatory compliance. I do have experience in family law and estate planning, but now it's with regulatory compliance.
And I think Mike, he drives around and finds car accidents and asks the people, he goes to the hospital and says, I can hook you up. Am I right? That's what I heard somewhere.
Personal injury, workers' comp. Yep.
So you're the one that gives your card out at an accident scene?
That whole landscape has changed. I mean, I can't remember the last time I gave a card out.
Right?
I mean, me and the rest of the world. It's not, I'm not special. I'm just like, it's funny people say that, which is like an old thing, but it's like, it's all internet. That's it.
And actually, I was absolutely just pulling that out of my ass. I had no idea what area of law you practiced.
I mean, look at me. Come on.
It's like, do you have a card that says "Better Call Saul"?
I got one that says "Better Call Mike."
There you go.
We got a Saul Goodman in the midst.
I've got a shirt that says this.
That's right. Always be advertising.
Yeah.
Always be advertising.
There you have it.
All right. Next time I get an offender bender, I know who I'm calling.
Absolutely.
Ah.
All right.
So I don't practice any area of law, so I think we're done with that question.
All right. ICBM Catcher for $15 says, referring to one of these clowns that calls himself an auditor as a journalist is like saying some kid flipping burgers at McDonald's is a chef.
Yeah, it really
Very
is.
You guys have entirely too much respect for the concept of journalist. I hate to tell you. I mean, I get it. You have a YouTube channel. I have one. We all have one. But some jamoke who's working at CBS doesn't know anything.
I think
let's carry on.
A point that I was also going to make, and a point that I made to Schrodinger off camera, is really the auditors could easily get around this, and I think actually they already have gotten around this by simply creating an organization. All they got to do is create a simple LLC or even a nonprofit, and they surround their YouTube channels into consolidate it, and there they go. They are now an entity, even by the definition of the court, because that was really the one thing that was that killed the plaintiff, is that his channel was both his auditor channel, and I put that in quotes, as well as his own personal channel. There was no legal distinction between himself and Liberty's Champion.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know some of the auditors have created these conglomerations, but ICBM Catcher's analogy wasn't exactly correct, because somebody that flips burgers has a job. So Yeah,
But
there's
also
that.
true because I
Yeah.
have way more respect for someone who flips burgers.
Right.
Right.
Well, but that is the core. Like
Yeah.
in this decision, I've watched auditors mostly on your channel, Schrodinger, and they make me insane. And I want
Yeah.
them. I want what you know. What I want. I want a law that says all auditors can be tased at Mike Gravelin's discretion. Okay. So you just text me. I go, yeah, hit him with a tase. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not reasonable. All right. But to go on the other side, all you have to do is say, all right, well, the government is just going to say, we're going to decide who is and isn't media. Guess who's media? Anybody who likes me. Guess who isn't media? Anybody who doesn't like me. Thereby destroying the concept of media and a problem with the First Amendment, in my opinion.
So, like I said, the legislature has to strike a balance somewhere.
Mhm.
And so far as I'm aware, that hasn't happened.
No. And many legislatures and courts are apprehensive or completely against defining what media is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like we
The
all
only-
kind of have like an incoherent, knowledge of what we think a media organization is or what a journalist is. And
That's
we all
defense attorney for incomplete. Okay.
Okay. And we all, don't, think that First Amendment frauditors fall within that, definition. But you look at find a statute in many states, they do not define what the heck a journalist is.
Based on my limited research, the only times in where I have seen the courts, not necessarily the legislature, the courts, define media is strictly in terms of defamation purposes. When it comes to First Amendment issues, the courts are explicitly apprehensive of defining what is and is not a news media organization. Like I said, the only time I've seen them have to address that issue, that elephant in the room, is when it comes to defamation cases.
But we got off track there. We were trying to catch up on super chats. We went on a tangent.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
This is just so
All right.
interesting.
It is.
Oh yeah, to me too.
Kit 190 for $2 says UWU already senpai. Hashtag pickle gang. Hashtag UWU crew.
I hate you, P.
Okay.
Rhymes.
Kit 190, not P Rhymes.
Kit, same thing.
Linda.
Jeez.
Okay.
Just disrespecting
Linda
my
West.
audience. Go
Okay.
ahead. Sorry.
Linda West had a 1999 super sticker. Thank you.
Thank
Ridge
you.
152 for $5 says, "Great news, OPT, and watch Soldinger's cat do a happy dance would be funny." Yeah, it would be.
It would be tragic.
Yes, it would.
I like how Natalie agrees. She's like, yeah, I don't want to see
I'm
that.
excited. I want to see it. I would laugh.
It would be tragic. It would.
Yeah.
Dance like
Club
Snoopy. Yeah. All right. Corey Halsey for $5 says, "So happy to hear it, OPT."
Oh, thanks, guys.
Kit 190 for $2 says, "Artie has two cats, Chonkosaurus and oh Lord, he coming."
Not
Okay.
wrong.
So Artie likes me so much that he named one of his cats after my kid.
Yeah, totally happened.
They're both
I
named
enjoyed this
Winston.
running joke.
So yeah, they're both named Winston, and
He's
Winston is
gonna-
older than your cat. So yeah.
He's gonna keep on that joke until it's long past dead,
Good name.
which was
I
like
2
it.
years ago.
The joke or the cat?
The joke, honey, the joke.
Okay.
All right. ICBM catcher for $5 says, "But Glenn is a journalist, right?"
Oh my God, Glenn.
Oh God.
So, in recent news, Glenn is not allowed to interact with the police station that he was terrorizing anymore.
Oh wow.
I think they took out some sort of protective order. So now he's doing the post office nonsense.
Mhm.
And I'm currently in my editor right now. I have a video where he went to a post office and was just summarily dismissed. Like the sergeant shows up and is like, "You're out. Like, sorry, no more
Yeah.
discussion. Not even going to discuss it with you. Get the fuck out."
Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
gotta fall down pretty hard when a police station is able to get a protective order against you.
Yeah.
yeah, but just look at his channel. I mean,
I know, no, I agree. That's how
It's
bad it's
deserving.
gotten with Glenn.
He's earned
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Like speaking of, I just said earlier, people with no discernible talent or life skill. That is Glenn Serio.
Yeah. Pretty
I mean, he is not good at
Yeah.
anything except getting fat. That's the only thing that he is accomplished at.
But you have
But-
to admit he's fantastic at that.
Yeah, when it comes to, I'm getting an echo again, and now it's gone. Okay, when it comes to adding body mass, he is a virtuoso. Yeah, I'll just say that. And,
Yes, he is.
Yeah, back to super chats, please.
Okay. AZ the Kid for $9.99 says, worth the confusion. Thumbs up, hearts, thumbs up. Taco
Thank you.
Josh
and
Gaming.
thanks-
Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
powering through our tech issues, and it won't happen again because Tina's probably going to yell at me right after the stream's over and make sure that we use StreamYards from now on. So
I was
Just-
surprised we were using OBS just because I feel like we've been using StreamYard for a while.
well, just rest assured that she's going to scream at me, and I'm going to apologize, and we'll do it right next time.
All right. Taco Josh Gaming for $2 says, blame the new guy, Mike. Hi, Mike, and everyone else. All right.
Wasn't
Federal Bureau of Investigation emblem for $20 says, keep up the good work, SC. And
No,
then
thank you very much.
And then Central Intelligence Agency emblem for $30 says, yes, SC, good work, keep it up. So you got the government on your side.
Yeah. They pay me to do these streams. So
Oh my God, the frauditors would lose their mind.
Oh yeah.
and like the Moors and the Sobses, they would absolutely lose it.
Oh yeah.
right. Yeah.
We're
No.
all agents of a foreign state, you know.
In all of my videos, if you go deep enough into my comment section, every one of them, there's somebody that makes a comment that says that I'm being paid to do this.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, to be honest, I am being paid to do this,
Yeah.
but by
openly.
Google, but
Right.
By
Yeah,
a private company. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have a CIA handler that says, "Hey, point and laugh at stupid people." I'm
Wouldn't that
willing,
be great?
right? Yeah.
Wait, crap! You guys get paid
All
for
right.
this? Dang it.
Shh, we don't talk about that.
Okay.
All right.
James
Super
Blonde 007 for $4.99 says, why not just tow their vessels? Problem solved. Have to have valid driver's license, registration, insurance, and daily fee. They can't afford that.
Right.
There you go. That's a
Jimmy-
solution.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I know Artie did, and I think OPT was there too. My video yesterday when the guy said that they couldn't arrest him because he wasn't a person and didn't have a name.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then when they did arrest him, and the cop goes over to his wife and says, "Well, are you going to bail him out?" She's like, "Well, I can't because I don't know his name."
Yeah.
Like what?
Like
They try to religious angle there too.
Yeah,
like
right.
it's against my religious beliefs to have a name.
to call
Right.
people a name.
That was
like
so stupid.
I'm against name calling.
yeah.
Right.
Like, didn't
And they
your
took that
mother
literally.
teach you not to
I'm
call
gonna
people
keep this in the
names.
car. Every time they pull me over, just say, I'm not a U.S. citizen. What do you want?
Right.
What do you want?
I've got to
Yeah.
get one of those. I really
Where did
do.
you get that from?
I bought it to do a video. The shipping costs more than the stupid hat.
That makes sense.
You
I
just
had
get
to
a
use it twice.
you just
Okay,
get a
thank you.
you get a KFC bucket and you
No,
you spray
there's
paint it red.
millions of them on Amazon, huh?
It's not a good look.
I'm buying one. Like
There's
this.
so
this,
many on Amazon.
This beanie's going away. It's going to be a KFC bucket hat from now on.
Hilarious. There's one girl on here that does like conspiracy and true crime and mystery, and she wears a tinfoil hat. And
Oh,
it's
Lord.
hilarious. She's so funny. She's like
What's
doing it on
the-
purpose. It's
All
self-deferential.
right, she's in on it.
She's
That's-
in on it, yeah. And it's like she like
Yeah.
fashions it really nice, and it has something written on it. It's so funny.
That sounds familiar. Like, what's the name of that channel? Do you remember?
I'm terrible at names, but I think
You
it's like her name is something Noor or something like that. Something Noor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, well, can your channel have a name because calling names is mean?
There you
Yeah.
go. Wow.
Yeah.
It's against their religion, even.
Right. I'm going to tell YouTube, like, the next time I get a copyright strike, I'm like, you can't put a copyright strike on my channel because my channel doesn't have a name. Like, that's the level of stupidity these people are going to.
Yeah.
And his wife's just playing along like, I don't know his name. Oh, what the fuck do you call him? Sorry, more super chats.
All right, Judy Lipham for $4.99 says, "Pardon me for saying this, but there's so many ways to skin a cat. So, what are other ways to keep our public servants safe?"
Yeah, that's what we're. That's why we're here right now, trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, the
I mean,
things
like-
I suggested before are probably good,
I mean, like those public record requests normally can't have some kind of caveat that's like, you can't use this for X, Y, or Z. And if you do, then hey, guess what? You get charged with stuff. So
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a wholesale use of the records. You have access to them, but you can't use them to harass people.
Yeah.
You can't use it to commit crimes or fraud or anything
Right.
like that.
Or to post it on your YouTube channel.
To
Like,
basically incite violence against people is really what I think that they're doing. In my
I don't know about
the
you
doc
guys,
thing.
but New Jersey does not have those restrictions at all. Once you have the record, you can pretty much do anything you want with it.
But you guys do have harassment laws, though, yes?
Yeah, so we have harassment
Yeah.
laws, but
Yeah.
that's more after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
The only restriction there is that you have to, if you're looking for certain types of criminal records, you have to certify that certify that you're not a convicted felon, and that you're not looking, and you have to certify that you're not trying to access victims' records. Beyond that it's pretty much open season. Like that's why they're trying to restrict, at the very least, people trying to use it for commercial purposes, because that's one of the biggest things people use it for, and one of the biggest hassles. A lot of like the tax and title companies love to seek records requests from municipalities to try and get around having to pay for certain housing information and title information, and so there's been a big thing to like ask them to at least restrict access for commercial purposes, but that has not really gone anywhere.
Are you talking about FOIA?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of interesting. I've had this come up. I had some crazy cases, and I don't want to say the words, but because I don't want to mess up your stream. But some nasty stuff, and but even more normal cases. If I FOIA, from a police department, I will get redacted. I'll get nothing. I just get like an RD number, or
Right.
and that's it. Like everything's taken off, and then I'll file suit and subpoena it, and I'll get the whole thing fresh, and I'll get all the information.
Yeah,
And I don't care because I'm just trying to do my thing. But I'm like, yeah, that's really strange. Like, what does that comply with FOIA? You just redact everything.
Right. Yeah, I've seen some documents that like 90% of the page is just blacked out, and you'll have like an and then like 2 sentences later a the, and like just random words, and the rest of it's just totally redacted to where the document has no intelligibility at all.
Usually the statutes, I say FOIA is for the federal, but for whatever the Public Information Act statute is, a lot of the times they'll have, you can access this, but not this. But the not this is very broad and vague, and
Right.
a lot of times left to the discretion of the reporting agency. So then a lot of the times you have to file like a follow-up request or suit in order to get the information. And then by the time you file suit, you can usually get the record through the discovery process anyway. And most people aren't going to file suit. So that's, it's not a free-for-all. That's why I don't understand this decision, because seriously, there are other ways to combat, like literally just say, like up until October coming of this year, police misconduct records were subject to the Police Bill of Rights. And so police privacy, because they were seen as their HR records, and HR records are not public record, according to the state of Maryland. And so then the government just changed it. And I think either it was a veto override or Hogan signed the bill that we can get the only the misconduct, not all the other stuff. Right. But, when we get the misconduct records, they're going to redact their social security number. We don't,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they'll redact like, oh, he had a mental health exam and he had some issues from when he was a kid. We don't need that. We're not going to get that that's not going to be of access to the public. So why they felt the need to go the extra step of saying you're not a media organization, instead of just saying no one is really entitled to this information. You don't need to know what their date of birth is. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do that. I feel like that would have been an easier thing, because I can't think of any use for a police officer's date of birth. Now, his badge number, they restricted them from accessing that, but that is public information de facto. When they're out in public, you can see their badge number.
Right. It's like a license plate.
Yeah. Like when they're out in public, you can see their faces. So they really, in my opinion, just went too far, because these guys are so alarming to the judiciary. I get it. I get why they are. They kind of scare me too. Mm-hmm. But you can't like mess up everyone else's rights to try and curtail the few.
As I said before, bad facts make bad law.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened here.
Right.
All right, you're done. She just ate one of my flowers. Excuse me.
Brad kitty.
All right, we got more super chats. I'm sure that they're probably piling up.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so Eva Roberts for $10 says, please do not waste the subject matter experts, lawyers in this discussion's time. I am here to learn, and the trolling lets just be known you don't want to learn a thing. Good point. Hey,
I'm not sure who that was directed at.
Wait a second.
They've been tussling in the comments section, but they're talking.
Okay. I got this. I got it.
I've been watching that time. They're having some discussions, but it's okay.
I love a tumultuous comments section.
No, not this one. You don't.
Okay.
But Keeping It Criminal says to get him later because he's got merch now and he wants to send you a beanie.
Oh, nice.
Oh, absolutely. I'll wear his beanie on stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, real quick, Tina, if you want to reiterate the rules for moderators.
The moderators are being great this time. It's just somebody who's gotten out of line, but I'll take care of it if he keeps going.
Okay.
He's had his last warning already.
Okay. I trust your judgment.
Thank you.
All right.
Go ahead.
Other Cliff?
Other Cliff?
Yeah. Let me just get this copy and pasted, and I'll quickly go back. All right.
The way all our pictures are laid out, it looks like the Brady Bunch. It really does.
It does.
Yeah. Hey, the adults are talking for $5.99. Says journalism is a thing people study. You aren't just a journalist because you say you are. Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I brought that up in my debate with what the hell was his name? Amazing Audits. When there's journalistic standards, and I think number one is you don't insert yourself into the story.
Exactly. I went to college to be a journalist, and that was like the first thing they pounded into you.
Right. You're not the story. You're there to observe and report. But what is the first thing auditors always do? They
start conversation.
Become the story. And I had the one video of the guy at the post office, and just to make a point, I fast forwarded through all of the dead air. He was in the post office for like 40 minutes waiting for someone to confront him. Mm-hmm. And so I just played it at like 20 times speed to show how long he was in there. He wasn't there. And then when the cops show up, he's like, oh, I'm just documenting the post office. Well, you did that in the first 5 minutes. Yeah. What were you doing the second 35 minutes? Waiting for somebody to confront you so that you could make a YouTube video. Yep. And congratulations, you became one of my victims. So, more stupid?
Yeah. All right. Chris Jackson. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Chris Jackson for $10 says, I've had it with this panel. I'm giving public warning that I'll be boarding all of your vessels. Hashtag fear the feds.
Good luck finding me. And
that got a good chuckle out of me. Boarding all your vessels.
Good luck finding my vessel.
Right. I'm in the very densely populated Waikiki on the 18th floor of an undisclosed building, so good luck. But that is actually what we call it around my house, is boarding the vessel.
Nice. But to be fair, I actually haven't driven my vessel in a very long time.
That's,
All right.
That could be taken so many different ways.
Yeah, pretty
I've
much.
got nothing clean to say.
That's why
I'm not going to say anything right now.
I'm just
gonna,
like sitting here.
gonna go
so
play a
awkwardly
mobile
quiet,
game.
waiting for this to move on.
Yes, I am juvenile.
I don't think that comes as a
Eva
surprise to
Robert.
anybody. Sorry, go ahead.
Eva Roberts says for $5, no, we're not allowed to tase people for being annoying. Do you know how many people would have that happen to them?
Everybody.
I was suggesting that only I have the privilege. Okay, I just let you all know I'm reasonable.
Oh,
Right.
okay. There you
You
go.
would be judicious in using your privilege to tase anyone you want.
Right.
Trust me,
No.
you guys would agree with me most of the time. Okay.
Tina would tase me daily if she could.
Oh.
He's not lying.
It's like she is the Robin to my Howard Stern.
You know,
love
somebody
that.
said that one day.
Oh yeah, did
They
they?
did in the chat. That was crazy. I'll take that every day, all day.
So yeah,
Did you
I'm
have
the
more?
discount
All
Howard
right.
Stern with no hair. Go ahead.
Michael Kraus 999 says F cancer and Schrodinger's cat dance. You should, but can he sue himself for personal injury? Marvel Girl better get used to being roasted. Although she's so old, she's heard it all.
No.
Yeah. When they said,
Oh no,
when they
you
said,
didn't.
yeah, when God said, "Let there be light," she flipped the switch.
Ah,
Damn it.
this is my lot in life.
I literally just made that up off the top of my head. I'm
You
not
are
kidding.
so clever. Said nobody ever.
I like it.
Yeah.
See,
All right. James Bond 007 for $4.99 says tow their travel vessels initial fee, daily impound fee, registration, valid DL, proof of insurance. They can't travel anymore, broke as fuck. True.
yeah.
You'd be surprised.
ICBM catcher
now-
for
Just real quick, because this just popped into my head. I heard the greatest line from a cop the other day when I was watching one of these videos. Like, he wouldn't identify himself to the cop, and the cop said, "Well, the great thing about that is you don't need a name to go to jail, but you need a name to get out."
Ooh,
Right.
Nice.
really good. Yeah.
It was like, buy that dude a beer.
That is so good.
That is
Yeah.
an amazing line.
That is dirty.
Yeah. I really want to clip it out and just every time they fail to identify, just like make a soundboard and just play that little line. I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, Cliff. Sorry.
ICBM catcher 999 says I'm a nuclear physicist because I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. I mean, like a lot.
Scary.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Keeping it criminal for $5 says, with the Washington ruling about YouTube not being journalism, could podcasts become another layer that may need to be addressed?
Well,
I
as
think- Ooh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we were talking about, that decision seems to be extremely limited to Washington, so I don't think we're gonna have to worry about it, honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But also podcasts are a little bit different. There are even news organizations that I think would satisfy Washington's test that are strictly on YouTube.
Mhm.
Like even what's his name that a lot of people, Ben Shapiro, right? He would probably be considered a news organization. I'm sure he has a separate company that's just Ben Shapiro, the brand. He has employees, and he's got probably a corporate veil between his personal self and his online persona and the things that he reports. He'd probably satisfy that. In a podcast, in a similar vein, a lot of the times they were podcasting through a podcast network. If you've heard about them, they're usually on a network.
Mhm.
That network usually is the company that is distributing the podcast and taking a portion of the proceeds. So they would probably qualify. It just has to be something more than a guy with a camera in his room. That's probably all that they're saying.
Yeah.
And even though I have a lot of problems with it, it is very limited.
Right. What pops into my head is Neil deGrasse Tyson, who has his podcast Cosmic Queries. And it's not just him. He has a co-host. So it's like him as a scientist, and his co-host is a comedian. And they basically bounce ideas off each other, and like he explains in-depth science to the comedian, who says funny stuff in response. So yeah, that would be a separate entity from Dr. Tyson himself.
Yeah.
I love it when I say something and the lawyers are just like, yeah, it makes me feel smart.
That's cool. Yeah. Anyway.
Or you're bored and asleep.
Well, yeah, maybe there's like just agree so we can move on.
Yeah.
No,
ICBM,
come on.
So moving on.
Go ahead.
ICBM catcher for $9.99 says, Schrodinger, you work for me.
I love that line, because when they say that, it's like, no, I don't specifically work for you, especially because these people travel the country mostly, so you're not even in the city in which you pay taxes.
Right.
They work for the
Is somebody
public.
playing a game?
Yeah, I keep hearing.
Artie?
That,
Are you playing a game?
is that how much we're boring you, Artie? That you're just playing video games over there? What a dick! Yeah.
He is. Oh my God, Artie! You are, aren't you?
It's not Minecraft, okay?
Oh!
I thought we were friends. I mean,
Oh man,
legit.
That's
Like,
cold-blooded.
cold.
Cold-blooded.
yeah,
Ouch!
600 people here watching you, and you're playing video games. What a dick!
Rude. See who gets invited next.
Yeah,
And
move
it's
it.
something old school, like Galaga or something, you know?
No, I can call up Joe Palmetto. I mean, you can be replaced. So,
Oh wow, I'm
Out.
You get replaced with
Let's
Common
move on to
Sense
the next
Academy.
right.
All right. Thomas
Right.
EG1 for $5 says, Natalie, I see you drinking from a jug in your videos. Is that moonshine?
She's doing her work.
If there was like, I wish I could even pretend like I can drink moonshine. I had a shot of it one time, and it was like actual genuine, someone made it moonshine, like
Oh my God.
brought it to a party that I was at on the Eastern Shore, and they're like, no, it's great, it's peach moonshine. And I'm just like,
Why did you do that?
I mean, I'll taste it, it's fine, and I was just like, how is this fit for human consumption?
No,
What
it's
is
not.
So when you say that it's someone made it moonshine, is there naturally occurring moonshine? Like,
No,
if so,
and then-
let me know where I can
Not
find
storable.
A company did not make it. It didn't come out of a
I know.
distillery.
I was just being a smartass.
I
Some
can't
guy
even
made it
do,
in his
like-
bathtub, probably. It tasted like battery acid. It was horrible.
Toilet wine.
Oh.
Girl, I don't know how you did that. No. I can't even do like homemade wine. It's too strong for me.
Mm-mm.
You know,
I don't drink, so I have no idea.
Oh, good for you.
Mhm.
Here is the driven snow. I wish I could say that.
But
Me-
before
I-
I didn't drink because I just didn't want to. Now technically I can't.
Yeah.
Damn
sure.
it.
yeah. I don't drink either.
Yeah.
But
Just
this
saying.
made me get thirsty and want to drink my water. So here we are.
Yeah. Schrodinger's not drinking anymore. He's not drinking any less either, but
Yeah. I used to drink. I still do, but I used to too.
yeah. All right. AZ the Kid for $4.99 says, Mike the lawyer or Mike the ambulance chaser?
Oh,
Easy.
Synonymous.
how many do you have left? What?
It's just the one that I see.
Okay,
Oh.
let's do that one, and then I want to get
Yeah.
into this video since we're talking about.
No, sorry. How many do we have left total? No, we have
Yeah,
like,
we have a bunch.
8. We have like 8. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Power through them. Power through them.
All right. Tom Castro for $5 says, I heard that Natalie's business cards say reasonable doubt at a price that's right.
Ooh.
If only I needed business cards. I literally just give my clients my number. They come the clients come easy. That's not the problem.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Larry Spears for $2 says, "Love the videos. Videos of outcomes would be ideal."
I know people say that, but I mean, it's literally just me. I don't have like a staff that can, look up, the case numbers and find out how all these cases were adjudicated. I'm just a dude. Hopefully, I heard Natalie say this the other day. Like, hopefully, YouTube will retire me from my day job.
Right.
Yeah, I heard you say that, and I was like, that's a good line.
That's
so right, and if YouTube does ever retire me from traveling around the world,
why would you want to stop that? I don't even get it. You're in Hawaii, free of charge.
He could be in Hawaii doing YouTube.
Yeah, I kind of could just do all my videos from the balcony that's behind me.
Shut up.
All right.
She hates me so bad.
Hey, the adults are talking for $5 says, Natalie, wipe my feet. Love you. Love all of you. Hashtag chicklets. Hashtag
what does that even mean?
I don't even get that.
No. He's not talking about his own feet.
Good.
When you guys wouldn't know. You would take that way out of context. Thank you, love you. But they're good. So when my viewers come into my live stream, I tell them to wipe your feet, take your shoes off, sit down, have a drink, and like the video. And if you don't like the video, it's like you're tracking the dirt into my house. Like you haven't taken your shoes off at the door.
I get it. That makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, it was a weird kind of fetish before.
We don't kink shame around here.
It took me like a quick second to be like, "Excuse me, who do you think you're talking to?"
All right, wait a second. I got it. No, wait. I gotta address the chat. Mods are starting to time people out, and things are getting out of control.
Okay.
I took my eyes off it for a second. I'm sorry. What's going on?
Yeah, I will take wrenches away if I have to. Let me reiterate the rules. We time people out and remove comments if they're being racist, sexist, bigoted, homophobic, or making threats.
That's it.
Other than that, unless somebody comes up with something that I haven't thought of, that's the reasons that you can time people out and remove comments. I have no problem taking wrenches away.
All right, so that's it. That's all it. Okay.
All right. Ridge 152 for $5 says, AMG, is it possible to put a KFC bucket hat on Schrodinger's cat? LOL. Yeah, we're talking about that.
Yeah, I'm getting one.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
All right. ICBM catcher for $14.99 says, turn all crime scenes into a free fire zone. Allow police 5 shootings before they're brought before shooting port.
That's probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a little extreme.
Yeah. Real Mad Max there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Andrew Smith for $5 says, Schrodinger's cat, before Tina yells at you, make sure to close the blinds on your submarine windows so the neighbors can't see.
Oh my God.
So this goes back to
you could not.
Mute.
I have to know.
Yes. So I had last week I had an Ask Me Anything stream, and people were asking about my job, and I work on nuclear-powered submarines, updating the electronic fire control systems. And she asked the question. Do you want to say it, Tina? Or
no, I don't. I'd be fine without it.
So people were asking about submarines, and Tina asked the very well-founded question that isn't stupid at all. Do submarines have windows?
Wait.
See? It's not stupid. It's not dumb.
I mean, they have those little porthole things, right?
I'm not going to say a damn thing right now. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
They don't have that?
And I'm going to keep playing this mobile game. And
You know what I think it is? I think that probably every single animation I've seen in a submarine, they have little portal windows on them.
I told you.
That's because you guys watched the Beatles' Yellow Submarine music video and thought it was a real thing.
Would the
You're not
Beatles
wrong.
I mean, seriously.
Okay,
And the science ones, I saw the cutest little pink octopus on the bottom of the ocean floor because of what? A window in a submarine.
But that's a science submarine, not a warship.
Right.
There.
So
Still, there could be a room. There could be a room like the
I'm so
lounge.
glad he brought this up because, first of all, you and I would have been stupid together because in all my life, I thought submarines.
Thank you. There could be the lounge or something like.
no, there's no lounge. Like, it's a warship.
Where's my bruh sound effect? Hold on.
Right. Their job is to be clandestine. Nobody knows where they are. So you just got like this warship. They're being super quiet. They don't even wear boots. They wear sneakers.
We
so
had
they're
shutters
super
on my
No,
house.
no.
We had shutters on my house. You can put them on the sub.
Let me fucking finish.
Oh.
So they wear sneakers because they don't even want the sound of their of their feet hitting the floor to make noise, but yet they got this window that's just like light, like just escaping into the sea.
You've never
So
heard of a shade in your life. I've never heard of a shade.
I've never put any thought into it whatsoever.
Thank you.
In my
It's
mind,
not dumb.
you know when you like say a word and the picture of it pops up in your mind, it's shaped like this and it's got like 3 or 4 little portholes in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
the Navy submarines.
It's not dumb.
Navy submarines have Venetian blinds on their windows.
Right.
Stop it.
Oh my god.
Like the lighting.
You
Oh my
stop
God.
it, Cliff.
So do you know how thick the hull of a submarine is?
Right.
Yes.
Also,
They have thick
Also-
glass.
yes, they use a very specific type of steel on the hull so that it can compress when they go down to depth. Can glass compress?
It could be thick
They don't
glass.
have to be made out of glass.
It could be plexiglass. It could be anything.
What are plane windows
No,
made out of?
plexiglass?
On a
Shut up.
submarine.
Listen.
Thousands of pounds PSI.
What are some of the ones that are science ones?
Those are they're very, very tiny, but also very, very, very thick.
Yeah,
as
there
well.
you go.
Okay.
But
There you
they're
go.
tiny.
The ones on the
But is that what I'm
the
thinking about,
submarine
then?
could be even
Yes.
tinier because
It's like
Okay.
the ones on
Jean-Pierre
the wait. The ones on the
Damn it,
science one
Tina.
are big bubbles.
I thought
my
we had
God.
a video we were gonna get to at some point.
Yeah.
What?
Let's.
What was the okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not saying anything.
Okay,
I did not bring
back to
this up.
Super Chat. All right. King Leo 9 for $5.
Oh.
No message. Thank you. ICBM catcher for $4.99 says, "What's the difference between a dead lawyer in the road and a dead skunk?"
Oh shit!
Okay.
Shots fired.
It wasn't dumb.
Wait, does
No.
it give an answer? Like, what?
Stop trying to justify yourself from our previous
I'm
super chat.
feeling- I'm feeling some kind of way over this. It was
You
not
shouldn't. We were both dumb together.
dumb.
It's
Okay,
okay.
thank you.
It's fine. Bronx Fan Channel for $10 says, "Washington State got tired of auditors making unreasonable demands and want them to stop pretending they're oppressed. They're wasting state's resources."
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that just makes bad law. But that's exactly right. You're right. That's the
I get the
reason.
idea.
Yeah. It wasn't the Constitution that made them reach that decision, but it definitely was they are tired of their shit. That's what it was.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't blame them.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, let's power through this because I want to get to this video and show. It's an example of why we can't just call First Amendment auditors media, and I'm going to show this in an extreme way here in a minute. But let's power through these.
All right. Okay. ICBM catcher for $14.99. Why does nobody emphasize what Poster 7 really says? They let these morons who call themselves auditors get away with just reading the first line. The rest of it shuts them down.
Cliff, it's you
I've
doing the echo.
said it so many times.
Now my echo. I was.
Maybe move
wasn't-
away from it a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that better? Holly
Yeah.
Aris for $4.99 says auditors calling themselves journalists is equal to Moors calling themselves indigenous to the U.S. Just because you say so doesn't make it true.
True.
Very true.
Yeah, I'm only hearing off of you, Cliff, but I don't know where it's coming from, guys.
I'm gonna mute myself. Maybe it's me.
Okay. Michael Kraus, $9.99. Marvel Girl was the cause of the Big Bang. She fell out of her Hoover round. Well,
Shit.
LOL. I still need to send you the cat ears, and it would be funny to see time with the taser. Get StreamYard.
I like that. Nice. Even at the time of the Big Bang, she's already in a hover round. That's
wow,
nice
that was harsh.
Yeah, there was layers to that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All kinds of layers.
Like-
Like an onion.
Prior to the Big
I
Bang,
like
time didn't even exist, and she was already old.
And Jenna Clapper.
Oh shit.
That's what caused the Big Bang. She was like,
All right.
Yeah.
Benjamin Needens for $5 says, "Congrats to OPT and then Artie. I saw your last video with Kick. Heard the good news about Dead Space. I'll play with you when you're ready."
Thank
Okay.
No.
Coburn Game. Okay. Coburn Games for $5 says, "I worked in corrections for a few years. My favorite quote was, 'You can't fix stupid, but you can give it a court date.' LOL."
yeah, that's pretty good. I got to steal that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The plot hole for $2 says, "Darn,
plot
no
hole in
more."
the house.
Says, "Darn, no more news from the plot hole."
Yeah. No, I love what the plot hole does. So if you people aren't subscribed to the plot hole, he has a weekly show where he basically does a roundup of our community, like who hit milestones and subscribers, and like who had a debate, and it'll show highlights from the debates and things like that. I never fail to watch his weekly roundups.
Oh yeah, big fan.
Yeah, and he raked us over the coals a couple times about we went on to defend certain certain fundraisers that we had, and he asked us all the hard questions, and we answered each and every one of them to his satisfaction. So yeah, he's an intense interrogator. I got the wounds to prove it. Yeah, the cigarette burns. You didn't have to waterboard me. I thought it was a little excessive.
Yeah,
Johnny O, but
it's fun to watch though.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
All right.
Not holding a grudge.
Eva Roberts for $50 says, "I'm the daughter of cancer survivor. I've also had a house fire and lost everything. I would like to donate to both OPT and Virgo. And no, I don't touch moonshine ever. I remember that homemade brew once.
I appreciate the thought, but I'm not in a position where I need donations right now. But thank you so very much.
Yeah, we've pondered that, and it's just not. It would be bad form at this point. If that ever becomes a necessary thing, then we'll readdress it. But yeah, his correct me if I'm wrong, your coworkers have been kind enough to donate sick hours.
Like sick hours, my insurance is insane because I work for the government. Like, yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I'm not looking for any kind of financial help at the moment. But I do appreciate the sentiment. It's touching, it really is. But I have to respectfully say, please don't.
Yeah.
Stand-up guy. You really, really are.
Right.
Thanks.
All right. AZ the Kid for $4.99 says, "Mike the lawyer, just kidding. Love your channel wisdom, man."
AZ is AZ the one who called me an ambulance chaser?
I think so.
Yeah.
We still have issues. I'm still going to send Frankie Nally to lick your face off. Thank you.
Yeah, let's do one more and then get to the video, because I'm chomping at the bit for people to see this nonsense.
All right. LED for $5 says, "Allow P. Barnes and Officer Sparky to respond on all Sovsit traffic stops."
Yeah, P. Barnes a fucking legend.
Text.
I see your text.
Go ahead, Cliff. Any more?
Immediately, straight out the gate, she sends me a text, calls me a dumbass.
Yeah, I honestly would prefer to see Jeremy DeWitt stop a sovereign citizen. and see these.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that would be hilarious,
Oh,
That
yeah.
is a great scenario in and of itself. That's so,
isn't it?
that's hilarious.
Like, who's crazy would be more? Oh, my
Right.
God.
Who actually has the authority in that situation?
Right. Who can
I
outsnip who?
know.
So, all right. So
We're gonna have to
here-
take a break on the super chats here. They're still coming in.
Yeah. No, we'll pick it back up.
Yeah.
But so we were talking about our frauditors, journalists.
Right.
And I got the best example in the world. I didn't find it. Tina found it and sent it to me. And we're going to bring it up. We're going to start it at 1 hour and 30 minutes in.
Okay.
But let me
Jeez.
set this. Let me set the stage.
All right.
This is a First Amendment auditor who just randomly happened upon an active shooter scene,
Oh, Jesus.
and
it happened not too far from me.
right, yeah, it's in her
Wow.
hometown.
I've
So-
heard about this.
Yeah, he fires up his camera. He's filming bodies on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to watch that, obviously.
Mm-mm.
But then, so what is more stressful or more urgent than an active shooter? Probably almost nothing, except maybe combat, like active combat in war. What does he do? He inserts himself into the crime scene. The scene's not even locked down. They haven't apprehended the active shooter yet, as of the time in which we're going to start this. So, Tina, let me know. Let me know when you're ready. 1 minute or 1 hour and 30 minutes in, and tell me if this guy's a journalist.
Mm.
Right? Yeah. Keep going. 1 hour 30. Okay. There you go. Is this guy a journalist?
Okay.
Like, I'd just be running away from this.
Wait, it's not working. It's not doing it right. Let me try again. Because I couldn't hear anything, could you?
No, I couldn't
No.
hear anything.
Oh, I didn't share the audio. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. You know how us old people are. Mm-hmm.
I can hear it now.
I need you to sit up and surrender to the officers.
No, that's
Do
going
it
through my speaker.
now.
What the hell?
I hear
I-
it fine.
Yeah, wait a second.
I remember this.
I do not.
Can
I
you make
remember
it
that
full
shooting.
screen?
Yeah, is this better?
Oh, they're
Can you
forcing
hear it
that
all
This
right?
is the Florida Police Department. We see the vehicle. I need you to exit the vehicle now.
Do you hear it all right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's good.
Can you make it full screen mode? Too?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Please back up across the street.
I hear ya.
I hear you.
Please back up across the street. Please back up across the street.
I had better cover behind the tree. I'm a journalist.
No, you're not.
You're
I'm
not.
not gonna leave the scene.
Journalists would leave the scene.
This is an active fucking
I'm not going
shooter.
across the canal. I'm gonna film this. I'm a journalist.
No, you're not.
Stop telling me to leave.
You're not a journalist.
Why is
Final
it
answer,
like
not leaving.
it's so glitchy?
I mean, the
It
thing
is a
that
bit.
It's the way
I'm not going
he
across the
he's
canal.
handling it.
Well, then you're gonna have to go all the way down there.
I understand.
Go that way. Go back over there. Go across the street.
Stop barking orders at me, dude. I'm a journalist.
You don't know
You
how
need to back
journalists
up.
act.
I'm backing up. What am I doing? Backing up.
Back up for your safety.
So what
Back
is
up.
your name?
Back
Name and
up,
badge
sir.
number.
Back
What
up.
is your name and badge
Back
number?
up.
You guys
Name
need
and
to
badge
stop being
number
fucking
during an active
douchebags
shooter.
right now. I'm a fucking
Yeah,
journalist. I'm filming here.
And this is for your safety.
Yeah, this is for my safety. Look at your safety. Look at my
Look how many
safety.
cops he's
Fuck
taking
off.
up.
Fuck off. No, I can't fucking record. I'm being forced not record. No.
Yes, you're gonna go across the
No, I'm
street.
not going across
You
the
are.
fucking street.
For your safety, just keep backing up. You can record. You just keep backing
Take it off.
What is your name?
It's
My
an
name's
active
Dean. What's your name?
shooter.
Deputy Hoover. Let's keep back up.
Deputy Hoover.
See
What's
this-
10 people died
I
here.
see Jefferson County. I
10?
see Boulder County.
Yeah.
So back up. You keep backing up.
Understand.
This is in Colorado.
Backing up.
Stop fucking grabbing me. close
Oh my
You're
god.
tapping it off?
Yes, sir.
Then I'm behind your tape line.
Sir, out of it.
I'm behind your tape line.
Why didn't I not arrest him?
No, you're not gonna let me record the
They had
scene
other
anymore.
things
This
to
is bull.
deal with.
I'm a
Arrest
journalist.
him.
Let me back over
Get
the
out right now.
scenes.
We're getting you safe.
This is not safe.
Getting you
I'm
safe.
fine.
We're gonna get you
I've
out.
been
Dean.
here since the beginning. Been here for
And now you're
an
getting a
hour and
lawful order to back out.
33
Watch out.
minutes.
Watch out, Dean.
Don't push me into the pool.
Keep going.
Stop.
What's
Then
your
turn
name?
around and
What's
walk.
my name, Dean?
Yeah.
Did you really say
What's your
that?
last name, Dean? Keep going.
Fuck off is my last name.
Okay.
Dean, fuck off.
Watch out.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Stop fucking pushing
Keep
me.
going backwards. I'm helping you. You're walking
You're not
backwards.
helping anything. I'm a
Walk
fucking
backwards.
journalist.
Okay,
You're
walk
not.
backwards.
No,
Sir, get out of the
you're
crowd.
not.
Where I'm going is I'm going around the fucking building to the other side again.
Okay.
I got people who are in there, my friends and my
And
family.
we're trying
Bullshit.
to
And
keep
there's
him
no
safe.
fucking
Dean.
way I'm
Bullshit.
leaving.
Dean, we're trying to keep him safe.
You
If you
liar.
If they were
Lying,
in
yeah.
there, you
You
wouldn't
liar.
be
That's
taking
you
all
led
these
with
cops
that,
away.
liar.
You would have led with that if that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
He's,
can get
he's
arrested
making
anyway.
all those cops divide their
Fuck off.
attention.
yeah.
I hate him so much.
So do
Yeah.
I.
I
Right.
never
believe
say that
it.
about anybody, but like I hate this guy. And
I guess at this point, I've made my point.
Yeah.
So we could probably stop it. But I think we probably already have a unanimous decision.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Is that guy a journalist?
No.
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 I don't care about journalism. I don't care if he is a journalist or not. Cuff him and put him away. You're impeding an investigation of an ongoing active shooter.
Right.
Forget it.
And-
The distinction
And
that
putting other people in
if he worked for Fox News, I would say the same thing. Get out.
Oh yeah.
The thing
Like,
is,
You
well, I know
can't be
that
here.
I know they were busy at that moment, but they knew who he was. He didn't go anywhere. They could have arrested him afterwards. They should have arrested him afterwards.
Right, and at the beginning of this video, and I can send people the link if they want. There was still shooting happening. You can hear it in his video, like, and he's filming bodies on the ground. Like, how fucking disrespectful!
That's, yeah.
disgusting.
That is
Right,
very disgusting.
live streaming an active shooting, so that people potentially find out that their family member or loved one is dead via fucking YouTube. What the actual fuck?
Yeah.
And then you want to come to me on your high horse and say I'm a journalist?
With a camera phone?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like you're a journalist, like news media organizations are going to have cameras that they can film like from across the street, like they
I
were
was just
telling them.
about to say that. Yeah.
With no problem, because they're going to actually have, cameras with zoom. Because who knew that's a thing?
Right. And they have a delay so that they can edit live.
Right. On the
When you're
fly.
when these idiots are live streaming, they're not live editing.
Mm-mm.
It's just
No.
everything in there's going out.
No.
Well, that's frustrating. I don't know why they just didn't cuff him. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how they
You
did. They
gotta
didn't.
cut
Yeah,
him out.
I don't know how they didn't detain him
No
at the very
judgment on him.
least.
Right. Cuff him and let him go after the
Cuff him, throw him in a
scene
squad.
is over. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And then let him go and be like, go. You're released back into the wild, dum dum.
Yeah.
He was putting people's lives at risk. He was
Yeah.
the
Yeah, he
CDF
was.
officers, like the SWAT officers, were like distracted by him, trying to get him away from there. And then the more like administrative ones are then distracted by him, trying to get him away from there. I
Right.
mean, that's definitely a crime in my state. So he's
Yeah.
even, I'm the last person to say to arrest somebody, but to the jail is where he needed to go, down to the
Right.
jail, because that was
And
crazy.
so, yeah, he wasn't distracting SWAT officers, but he was distracting officers that were probably doing crowd control.
And trying to
you-
maintain a perimeter.
Right.
Yep.
And you know that family members were showing up in a sense of panic and probably trying to run into the scene to where they would distract SWAT officers. So he's still taking away some portion of the policing that they needed to do in that situation.
Yep.
So there's no, and I know this is an extreme example, but other auditors do this on a lesser scale every single day because
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, because I'm constantly looking for content and I see you guys doing it. Knock it the fuck off.
Well,
Glenn has. I just had that up.
Right.
Well, I can speak to an example where they told the story themselves. If you recall, Schrodinger, when you and I caught the group of New Hampshire folks, and the guy got
Oh, yeah.
tased at the parking lot.
Right.
Well, I listened to all 4 hours of their live stream, and in one of
God
them,
bless you.
I know. And in one of them, they were as they were driving around New Hampshire looking for some shit to film before they eventually got to the parking lot. They recounted a story that they were telling each other about this one time where they caught apparently somebody had overdosed and passed away at a residential area. They went over there and then started filming. Apparently, one of the relatives of the deceased said,
Jesus.
"Hey, man, look, not today, please." I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Don't do this, not today. And the guy, his recounting his words, saying, "I know it's a rough situation, but I'm going to film it anyway."
I remember that.
And
Wow.
and then he had the audacity to refer to the cops as tyrants because they ended up having to force his ass back, at least across the street, so he wouldn't continue to film this guy having one of his worst events of his life. And so I thought it was amazing to me that he called them tyrants, yet all I can think of is that the cops were essentially the good guys in that situation.
Well,
because it seemed to me that they saw what they were doing and were trying to be respectful to this relative who just lost a loved one.
Right.
They're the tyrants in that situation.
But that's the kind of mentality that some of these guys have.
Yeah.
They have
they're the
no
tyrants.
ethics whatsoever.
Decency. There's no decency.
They weaponize what they think are their rights.
Yeah.
Like your rights are your rights. You don't get to weaponize them.
What makes this person's overdose newsworthy, even if you were a news organization, which you're not? What would make that something worth filming? Like, leave this person alone. They have a right to privacy as well. Their family has a right to privacy.
No, they'll just say, no, he's out in public. The cops are out in public. Everything's out in public. You know, we're gonna be here and we're gonna record and we're gonna live stream it for everybody to see. Tough shit. First Amendment. A-okay. That's their entire mentality.
Gross. Hate it.
Yeah.
Hate
So
it.
it's just reprehensible.
Yeah.
I mean, just don't be like. Can we all just agree? Like, maybe we can have a summit with the First Amendment auditors, and maybe just we can all agree. Just don't be a terrible human.
I don't think they know how to do that.
Yeah.
I think we can universally agree on the rule: don't be an asshole. But
Right.
Wait a second. Teresa, that lady's in the chat saying he was behind the tape. No, he wasn't. He was not behind the tape.
He was at some point, but not at the beginning.
No.
But
Not when they were pushing him back behind it. He wasn't.
yeah, no, they pushed him behind it. That
Yeah.
was that's
He went.
what happened.
He
Yeah.
never. Yeah, he started.
Yeah, and then as soon as they pushed him beyond the tape, he started screaming on beyond the tape for the purposes probably of just pretending like he was always behind the tape.
Right.
Yeah.
He was in the scene. He was actively there.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes, they do have opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a
It
whole live
seems
stream
that-
about that here about 2 months ago, I think.
And a general lack of empathy.
Mhm.
I
That's
think they're
overriding
lacking an
issue.
empathy gene.
That's one of the things. I actually like watching your videos on it. Let's see, but it's hard because a lot of people have requested me to do videos on auditors, but it's like there's actually some on a legal front. There's some good points, but they're so despicable. I just don't want to spend 15 minutes with them.
Yeah.
I rarely do them for that very, very reason.
Yeah, let me
Natalie, your video on that opening argument of that killer
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's just like it's so evil. I just don't want to be there. And like I saw something, it was really good, but I'm like, I just don't want to be in that space.
Yeah.
right.
You know
I want
what I
to
mean? Like
I want to address this Teresa person. It was on screen and now it's gone.
You want to put it back up? Where?
Yeah, just so that I can read it because I know exactly what she's talking about.
Okay.
The police, Supreme Court said the police aren't responsible for his safety. That's not the fucking point. The point is he was dividing the police attention between their actual job and his nonsense. So he was basically degrading the police capability to control the scene. So yes,
Ten-
the Supreme Court did say that you basically can't sue the police for not keeping you safe. I think is the gist of that, and the lawyers can
I'm
speak
so
to
tired
it.
of these people quoting that damn case.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I know
It's
exactly
so
what they're
out of
talking about too.
context.
Yeah, I do too, and I'm not even a lawyer, but
I'll let you finish your thought, but I'll jump in. It's way out of context.
right. No, and I welcome all of you to say what you ever want to say on it.
To say
But
honestly, I don't know what case you're talking about.
Yeah.
Can I just say 10 people died?
10 people died, and Teresa,
Many more were injured.
with all due respect, you're welcome to stay here and keep commenting and doing whatever you want, but maybe don't show up to a live stream that has 4 lawyers on it with that weak sauce. And Natalie,
Their actual job was crowd control? No. Their actual job was a active shooter.
yeah, and the fact that they
What?
may have been doing crowd control, and he's making such a scene that they can't actually do crowd control because they have to deal with this idiot. So, what if everybody showed up and did that? And like, how many? Do you think they have unlimited officers, Teresa?
I think the issue was his constant
jump in?
defiance of it, and that's his hostility to backing up. That's why they ended up having to have more officers get themselves involved.
Right,
with him.
and I think let's let Natalie go because she seems to know about this case.
Yeah, so the case she's talking about, where people have just taken one little line from it and they've run with it, is Warren v. DC, Warren v. the District of Columbia. And that means that police do not have a duty to protect you in your personal capacity. So, for example, they're not like your personal guard dog or your private security. So this person had a protective order against someone, and the person attacked her or killed her or something like that while they had the protective order, and she was saying that, or she or her family were saying that the police failed to enforce the protective order to keep the person from killing her. That would have entailed the police just following her around at all times and providing her with personal security. They don't have a duty to do that. And that's the distinct issue that they were talking about. Other courts have upheld that decision, but have narrowed it since then to make sure that you understand that that is all they're talking about, is that particular circumstance. So there was another case in Florida where a federal court says that they don't have a duty to provide protection to citizens in general, like what a bodyguard would do, right? Like, oh, you have a protective order in your hand. They don't have to follow you from place to place, but they've basically limited it to these protective order situations. They're not talking about the police officer's duty to intervene when there's a crime being committed. That's not what they're talking about. They don't have the duty to ascertain that a crime is about to be committed and commit like pre-crime acts on people to stop them from harassing and killing somebody. They don't have the job. That's not their job. Okay. So it's not, they don't prevent crime, right? But as crime is occurring, if they see it occurring, they do have a duty to intervene under a public safety function. Those are two different things. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had people come into my videos and say, well, the police didn't do their jobs. They don't have to they don't have to protect people. They absolutely have to protect the people that they are observing being shot. And if you intervene in the police stopping someone from shooting at people, you are obstructing a police investigation or obstructing active police action. And obstructing and hindering is a crime in almost every single state in this country. So what you're saying makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. You mean to tell me that police can observe someone shooting into a school and walk by and do nothing and there'll be no civil liability for it? Absolutely not.
Yep.
I'd love a good Natalie rant.
Yeah,
that was so
I don't understand this one.
I want to just play it on repeat.
Yes.
Yeah.
What they're doing is we're conflating the police officer's responsibility to civil liability. Civil liability is going to be given under Article 1983 and I mean, Section 1983 of the Federal Code. You're going to have to sue a police department under federal statute. It's a very high burden of proof. They have their duty. They have a duty to the public, but it's not. It's very, very difficult to go after them for civil liability. They have to do something pretty blatant. I'm sort of simplifying this because we don't have 6 hours. I mean, I literally could do a 6-hour CLE on this issue. But what they have to do for their job and what will inspire civil liability are two different things.
Yeah, let me
Wait
cut
a
it
second.
down.
Wait a second. We're being told to watch the full video, not skip halfway through it because we don't know the story.
I've seen the
I've
video.
seen the whole video.
Yeah,
I've seen the whole thing.
Yeah,
you go watch the full video because they was like stay here for an hour and watch this guy be stupid. You go watch the full video. I've seen it. He's stupid.
Right. And so the police may not have a responsibility to be your personal bodyguard. Nope. They do have the responsibility to not let dum-dum head First Amendment auditor just walk onto an active crime scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't understand this idea like, oh, well, the cops don't have a duty, so then, therefore, police tape is now a meaningless venture. The cops are not going to do anything when they see loved ones, never mind this auditor, but loved ones just rushing into the building when there's an active situation.
Right.
It's just going to do nothing but create a chaotic situation even worse. I just don't understand this.
Take it on the flip side. The officers don't, if you don't think police officers have a duty to intervene during an active crime scene, I mean, that's your business if that's what you want to believe. But do you think that means that they cannot intervene in an active crime scene if they want to and enforce the full extent of the law and stop someone from obstructing an investigation or obstructing an active police action? Because they are allowed to do that under the law. There's nothing preventing them from doing what they were doing to that guy.
Right. And how many active shooters? I know of the San Bernardino one when it was 2 people, not 1, that were the active shooters. So you're just some random person that just walks onto the crime scene and they're supposed to just be like, oh, no, cool, bro.
Well, no. I will tell you right now, if this guy caught a bullet standing there filming this thing.
Oh, yeah, his family
he would call me or someone like me in my office and say, can we make this claim? And I'd tell him no, but he would be saying they didn't do their job. They should have gotten me out of there and secured the scene.
He's saying he didn't rush in, or I think he's picking on the words we chose, saying he rushed in. He walked in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. I'm so rarely testy, but it's just like, please don't get pedantic with me for what I saw with my own eyes. That man was actively interfering in a mass shooter. Yep. We have a mass shooter problem in this country, and now people are so crazy that they're starting to interfere in them. What's wrong with y'all?
Yep.
Grow up.
He had no reason or right to be there.
None.
Except that he wanted clicks and views.
There you go.
Because he just happened to be there when it started, and all that he heard the gunshots, and he was like, $signs.
But wait a minute. I remember him running. He was running. Remember?
Yeah,
he was running.
He was running all over the place.
So he was running and rushing.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, no, he was seeing $signs. That's the only thing he saw. Okay, and I specifically didn't make a video about his video.
Right, me either.
Yeah.
No. I can't believe he has defenders in here. What's wrong with y'all?
Exactly.
I have no idea.
That's bizarre. That is so crazy to me.
Again, the ultimate point is that he invited himself into a very dangerous situation, and he distracted or made him, and because of his hostility, because of his insistence to maintain his presence in an active situation, detracted resources from an active shooter situation. Right. Therefore, he is not, if we're going to go back to the original point, therefore, he is not news media. No, and if it was by a member of traditional media, as it were, let's put it that way, we would be saying the same damn thing, and people would be losing their damn minds if a member of traditional media was doing the same thing as this guy was doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like these people really just don't have any respect for human life, period, including their own.
No, he just cared about the video.
Yeah.
He really did. And if it had been the military and not the police, you'd have been on the ground in flexi cuffs in 30 seconds. And at the end of it, if you're lucky, they would cut you out of flexi cuffs and say, go away. No apology, none of that nonsense.
Yeah, they don't. I've seen the few times auditors have gone to military bases. They don't mess around.
Yeah.
That
So
is so disturbing.
What are the laws in the U.S. for filming victims? In the Netherlands, it's a crime.
I don't think it's a crime, but you can be held liable, possibly.
Yeah.
I seem to remember, like, in some situations, there was the one with was it Logan Paul where he
Oh,
filmed
God.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suicide Forest.
yeah.
Suicide Forest, yeah.
Kobe Bryant's wife, I don't know if she filed suit, but I know she definitely threatened suit against the LAPD who sold pictures of her husband and daughter dead at the scene of the
That's
helicopter
so
crash.
fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
Why do
You can
people
sue for
do that? Why would anyone want to see that, first of all?
Yeah. I don't think it's a
For
crime,
the
but
same
I
reason
think you can sue for
snuff
it.
films are a thing.
they are. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that real? For real?
Yeah.
It is. It is for it's on if you get on the dark web, yeah, you can find those sorts of
I
things.
thought
Or-
that was just
or
something
live
like
leak.
in a movie.
Anything with a live leak watermark will.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, there's actually people who pay to make these things happen, like with human trafficking. I got to be careful with my words so that we don't get nuked. Who orchestrate or pay people to orchestrate these things so that they can watch it.
Oh my god. I thought
Yeah.
it was just something like an urban myth, you know?
Nope. Oh,
No,
no.
unfortunately, it's not.
There's terrible people out there. I mean,
Oh my
we're barely
God.
scratching the surface with auditors who are, I think we can all agree, are terrible people. But there's even worse people.
Yeah, you know what it is? I know too much for my job from like actual
I guess I
horrible,
am.
bad people where I'm just like, I can't get invested enough in the auditors. They're annoying, but that's
Yeah.
about it. But except for this guy right here, like I said before, you know, I'm love and light to everybody, but with him, I hate him. I hate him. And any of y'all in here supporting him, you're on my bad list. Something's wrong with y'all.
Right. You're not getting a Christmas card from Natalie.
No.
So, do we have other videos that we want to take a look at? I don't have any more videos. Like that was, I wanted to talk about those two things. I don't know if maybe Artie has something in his back pocket.
I mean, I have something that's more humorous to try and liven up the mood.
Yeah, let's do that. Unless you're gonna sing. If you're gonna
No,
sing,
I'm not going to
see-
sing. I'm actually going to take a very, very long hiatus from shanties. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, so could I.
Yeah.
I got a message from my wife the other day. She's
Oh
like,
God, no,
she's
no,
like,
you
what
don't.
I did. No, she's like, what's Hardy doing? Like, is he having a stroke? Like, what the hell's happening?
Oh no!
Because
I love Nicole.
she has started watching all of you guys. You know, yeah, she knows all of you. It's like she's very emotionally invested in OPT, and she sees Artie as a curiosity.
Y'all leave me alone. And there's a reason why I privated all my videos, and I'm shutting my channel down.
Yeah.
No, but she watches like all of us now. She Team Skeptic. She watches me on Whiskey Wednesday and all this stuff. Partially just because I'm never home, so that's her way to see me, is to watch me on all of you idiots' channels. So, but yeah, she was like, "What? Why is he singing?" It's called sea shanties.
It's called alcohol. That's why he's singing.
I
Right.
missed this. I need to go back and find this.
No,
Drop me the
no,
Yes, you do.
no.
Drop me the
I'm
link.
privating everything now.
No, drop
Go
me
to the
the
end of
If
any
you think
live
that's fun, if you think that's funny, you should see him as a gay British schoolboy.
Okay,
Brandon and I are
Tina,
tearing up your channel later.
you're on very, very thin ice right now.
It was cute.
You made fun of her for the submarine with windows, so turn about a
Yeah.
fair play.
Hey, Artie, what do you
Like
do with the
somebody
drunken
asked a
sailor?
really interesting question about George Floyd just now, and I
Yeah,
thought
do you want me to bring it back up?
an interesting way to tie in with the First Amendment auditors because it does
Well-
make a very interesting distinction.
Well, the thing is, I think actually the Washington Supreme Court did note the George Floyd situation in their decision. Either the majority did or the dissent did. I think either one. They did mention the incident.
Right,
with
but
George Floyd.
that's a really good distinction between what the frauditors are doing.
Yeah.
I don't think those
They asked-
the people recording like actually inserted themselves in the situation.
Right.
I think they were just standing back recording.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what OPT says is exactly right. But it's two things. So first of all, there is an act of crime being committed that the civilians are watching. The police officers are committing the crime.
Yeah.
Right. That's what the decision of the jury was. That's what the judge upheld by denying the motion for a new trial. The police officer, namely Chauvin, was committing the crime. But the police also set up a perimeter. They established a space from which the civilians could film, and the civilians film from there because we are allowed to film where, as long as we're not interfering in the scene. No one physically touched any of the officers. I think Tao backed people away without touching them. I think one guy tried to step forward to try to intervene from Chauvin murdering Floyd, and Tao stepped him back, and he stayed back. So even though they were upset, they were interacting, they were filming, they never physically intervened into the scene, and they stayed exactly outside the perimeter that the police set for them. And that is completely constitutionally protected. And here, this guy was not outside of the perimeter. He was within the perimeter. And only when he got outside of the perimeter did he let it be known that he was outside the perimeter.
Right.
So that's the key difference here. And it's like, it's a distinction that does draw on, like, you have two sets of people filming that are upset. The First Amendment auditor is filming, and he is upset because his whole purpose is to get upset and to cause a scene so he can get more views, right? And the people filming George Floyd and Derek Chauvin, they're upset because they're watching somebody die and be killed while another person is acting as though nothing is happening while he's strangling this man to death. So there's two different motivations for them being upset, but they're just as equally upset, right? So what's the difference? It's the perimeter. It's going outside. It's going inside of the perimeter and actively interfering in the crime that's being committed. So that answers your question, I think.
Yeah, and I welcome those type of questions. That's sort of why we do this, is to draw those distinctions. And Natalie, I do see that you want to go have dinner, but before you do, let me tell you a funny story. Recently, somebody had a live stream about me. He took exception to a video that I made about him, and on his live stream, he was playing my video and saying why he thought I was wrong, and he said that he wanted to debate me.
Oh, okay.
So I was at work, and so Tina and Artie both went on to tell this young man that,
Artie was much better at it than I was.
Well, the thing is, like, Tina went on and said, "I'm his producer. I set up, his debate. So go ahead. Let's do this." His response was, "I don't deal with females."
Yes.
Yeah. So, as you can imagine, I didn't take too kindly to that. And my response was, I found another video of him getting arrested, and I made another video about him. And I think at last check, it had like 350,000 views. So, don't fuck with my producer, people.
Yeah, it's a DJ K-Dog thing, dude, who does not have a DJ going around because all he's doing is auditing at this point. So I don't think his DJ business is going very well.
Right,
We didn't have a very productive conversation, let's just say that.
No.
Well, first of all, don't mess with Tina. That's number one.
Yeah.
And number two, I mean, if you're here, DJ Dog, or whatever your name is, you don't talk to women or deal with women because you can't. You don't know.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I told him.
There's none in your personal life either who willingly want to deal with you, maybe other than your mammy. So, next time be respectful when you're talking to somebody. You could have actually had a debate and helped your views.
Well, he wants
the thing.
Schroeder to go on his channel, but there's only 11 people watching his stream, and 8 of them were us.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody watching his stream at the time was my subscribers.
Radical
Yeah,
me.
well, yeah, I remember I pointed out that he was live and he was talking about Schrodinger at the time, and I posted that link on there. And so, yeah, the vast majority of people who were watching that
likes
live stream
Artie.
at the time was us.
Yeah.
I clearly saw how his attitude changed when he talked to me versus when he talked to Tina.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
But
very blatant.
I did send him an email and told him that I will debate him, but for the purposes of the duration of the debate, I'm going to identify as a female.
And he would not reply on in the thread that I was included in. CC'd.
Right. Yeah. My two conditions were for the duration of the debate, I would identify as a female, and he would have to schedule the debate through my producer, who is Tina, because he's not special. Everybody schedules debates through Tina. So
he wouldn't even reply to that thread.
Right. And he wouldn't do it. So he can't debate. If he wants to debate me, I will be a female during that debate, and he's got to schedule it through her.
It really is amazingly stupid. It's a great opportunity for this guy. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
He refuses that.
The views you would get out of that, it's unbelievable.
He would get a couple thousand subscribers overnight. And he won't, like, his misogyny is that strong.
It's that bad.
It's so dumb. It's so, like, who are you hurting with that? You're not hurting Tina. Tina still got her producer job, still doing what she's doing. So who are you hurting?
Definitely not hurting me.
Yourself. And your mammy, because again, like I said, the only woman that likes you.
Go ahead,
I got a question for Natalie before she leaves. Someone's asking, is it a crime to film victims under the age of 18 in Maryland?
No, unfortunately. No, it's not a crime to film anyone in public in Maryland.
Yeah, that's just a sad fact of life.
Yeah. You know, I know in other countries it's criminal to even put a child's face on the news or like in a newspaper or on a website. They'll blur out the faces of children in the UK a lot unless it's like a celebrity child.
Yeah.
But here that's not the case.
I want to clarify because I don't know the answer to this question. If say you're filming an episode of a TV show and there happens to be a minor who or just a person, not a member of the cast that walks through, don't you have to get a consent form because they're making money off that?
Yeah, that's a civil matter, not a criminal one. But yes, absolutely.
Right.
Just sorry, go ahead.
If it's a monetized channel, couldn't somebody go and say, okay, your channel's monetized, it's effectively a TV show? Couldn't you make that case?
Well, you know what? I think about, you do have some people that do these like pranks in public and stuff like that.
Right.
They're not as favored anymore as they used to be on YouTube, but they do these pranks in public. And the ones that lasted were the ones that got people's permission to use them, like upload the prank later on. And the ones that didn't, they got sued into oblivion because you are appropriating the person's image for financial gain. And you have, you know, you do have a monetary right, a pecuniary right in that. So I could see that being something where if it's like this person's got over 100,000 subscribers or 200,000 subscribers and they set up, you know, cameras in public to talk about how people look, you know, or something like that.
Right.
I could imagine like, oh, I'm giving you your content. If it wasn't for what I look like or me in the public, you wouldn't have any money. You better give me a portion of that. I could see that being something.
That's why we have releases, right?
Yeah, that's why you do a release. Yeah. Or you pay the person.
Look at the big brain on Cliff.
Yep.
Saying, and not the other Cliff, this Cliff.
Oh God.
The other Cliff has a big brain too. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
So yeah, Natalie, I know that you have to bow out. So if you want to say final thoughts.
Yeah. So well, yeah. Before I go, I'm looking at your comment section. Because I brought up George Floyd. I don't know why this happens, but like, I inevitably get the question. A lot of people want to ask me about George Floyd. Maybe because I'm a criminal defense attorney, maybe because I covered it, in a bunch of live streams on my channel. It could be a bunch of reasons. But I consistently get asked this question, and someone just asked in the chat, and I saw it earlier too. If someone kills someone by accident, it's not on purpose, how could that be murder, right? It's not on purpose. There is, in multiple states, many states, so it's a minority of states that don't have this law, felony murder laws, right? Whereas like your intent was not towards murder, but it was towards committing some felony, and that felony caused the murder of another person.
Yep. Right. Like if you're fleeing from a crime scene and you run over somebody.
Right.
That's felony murder.
Yeah, it's I hate to say it, but the reason it's murder is because it's defined under the statute.
Right. Yeah. And so I guess some people have it in their mind that, relating that back to George Floyd, Derek Chauvin didn't intentionally kill George Floyd, so how could he be guilty of murder? He was found guilty of second-degree unintentional murder, which is their felony murder statute. The felony that he committed was the assault of George Floyd. He intentionally knelt down into George Floyd's neck or upper back for over 9 minutes, and it was outside of police procedure. It wasn't covered by protocol, so it became an assault, and it was felony because of the severity of it, the risk of serious physical injury, but they don't have to prove that he intended to kill George Floyd. That's why, and the kneeling in the neck, which was the assault, led to the death. But he didn't necessarily have to have an intent to kill George Floyd. And that's why he was convicted under Minnesota's statute. Okay, so I know that that's confusing to some people because, some people want to say, oh, it's not fair because he didn't intend it. Doesn't matter. He was literally convicted of unintentional murder. Yep. And thank you so much for having me again, Schrodinger. Bye, Artie. Bye, Tina. Bye, Cliff. Bye, Mike.
Bye.
Thanks for being here.
Bye. Always good to talk to you.
This is always such a good time for me. I really
this is consistently my highest viewers, where I get the highest viewership is when I have you guys on. So it's just going to be a thing. You're detained. You're not free to go when I send you invites. I will send my friends to come compel you.
Well, I'm always willing here, and I have a jury trial tomorrow too, so that's another.
Oh, good luck.
So, bye, guys.
All right,
go prep for that.
Bye.
Yeah, I guess let's do some super chats.
I'm actually surprised I've lasted this long.
Yeah, dude.
That's what the girls always tell you, isn't it?
No, because I don't get any.
Oh.
But actually, speaking of which, I am going to have to step out here because, as I said, I'm surprised I made it this long. My energy's dying horribly. So, thanks for having me on, Schrodinger, as always.
Yes, sir.
Artie, Mike, it's always good to talk to you.
Right on.
Cliff, always good to hear you guys. But I am out.
Take
you guys
care,
have a good night.
All right. Good night.
See ya.
All right. Back up here. Okay, so Andrew Smith for $5. Says Marvel Girl, sorry for bringing up the windows. I couldn't resist. You're the best.
No worries, huh?
Matt Bond for Aussie $2 says, what about the sub taken down to Titanic? Oh,
thank you.
Sub.
Yeah, it was a research sub. It wasn't on a warship.
A sub.
Was I mean, they're not trying to be clandestine.
All right.
What good is a warship submarine if it's got windows with light blasting out of them?
And you can cover that.
For what purpose?
If you wanted a window.
Why would you want a window?
So you can see outside.
Why?
Because there's things you won't see up top.
Up top. I don't even know what that means.
Okay. Well, let's move on. Arian Rod for $5 says, quit dissing a Marvel Girl. She's the best.
Thank you.
I agree. I pick on her a lot, but my channel only survives at her whim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. ICBM Catcher for $4.99 says, there's skid marks in front of the skunk. What's the difference between a lawyer and a skunk?
Wow.
Ah, yeah.
That's
There we
also
go. I
accurate.
actually kind of liked it.
And skunks are cute.
Pepe Le Pew. Amber M for $5 says, I want to see a First Amendment auditor try their crap at Langley.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think they mean Langley, Virginia, where the CIA headquarters is.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't work out well.
No.
Or you could do it at Langley Air Force Base. It equally would not work out well.
Yeah. Stephen Kunha for $4.99 says, love all your work. You guys should collaborate with Sergeant Blue Bacon. I learned some really crazy stuff about subsets.
I've talked to him so many times, and we've got all these grandiose plans about having collaborations and joint live streams and all that, and it's one of those things that just hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that dude.
Cool. Cinda Lucian for $10 says, not sure when Poster 7 was first printed, but the U.S. Postal Service needs to make sure every employee knows what it says so they can shut these guys down when they walk in the door with cameras running.
Right. Make them read the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. ICBM catcher for $9.99 says, the porthole is only in the captain's cabin, right under the deck gun.
A lot of the ships that I've been on, the CO's cabin does have a porthole, but those are surface ships.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was always jealous of my CO and XO's cabin. When I was on San Antonio, they both had portholes, and I was like, "You dickheads! My stateroom doesn't have a porthole."
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I was a lowly lieutenant.
Yeah. Fact YouTube for $5 says, if I came across an active shooting scene, I would get my happy ass out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the people because I mean I carry a gun almost everywhere. I carry concealed, and they're like, "Oh, I would just charge into the scene." No, don't do that, because guess what? When SWAT shows up, they're shooting at the guys with guns. Like if you just happen to be there when it starts and you can like take the dude down real quick, then that's fine. But yeah, don't hear about, oh, across the street there's an active shooter and be like, yeah, I'm going to be John Wayne. No, don't do that. SWAT dudes are serious operators.
Yeah. Hey, the adults are talking for $2.99 says, Marvel Girl is a boss bitch. Love it.
Yeah, she's the only employee that can get away with screaming at her employer.
Yeah. Eva Roberts for $5 says, yeah, you need to get out of the way or help, and when they don't have the skill to help, so they're harming more than anything else.
Right. It's sort of like, I don't know if you've seen like some of like fire scenes when people are like trying to run into the house to save whomever, and the firefighters are saying, no, don't fucking do that, because that's just one more person they're going to have to save. It's the same thing. I mean, it's you're becoming another liability, another person that they got to save. It's nonsense.
Yep. So Colin J for 1024 says, my father was an actual auditor for large corporations. When people asked him what he did for a living, he would respond, I show up at the wrong time. By that definition, they are auditors.
Yeah, well, that's a legit auditor who's like paid to like look at somebody's books and see if their accounting is above board or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've misappropriated that term auditor to be able to make silly YouTube videos that people like Tina, Radical, Artie, and I have to download, cut out all of the dead air, and then re-upload as improved content.
Yeah. ICBM catcher for $14.99 says, when are we going to stop calling these clowns auditors? They audit nothing. They're nothing but low-grade YouTube actors. Right,
and that's why the term frauditor was coined. I don't know who. I think it was probably Degeneration Nation who started calling them frauditors first.
Yeah,
and I'm willing to give him credit for coining that because it wasn't me.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the adults are talking for $2.99. Says I love Artie's singing. Someone has to.
I think that was his mom that typed that just now.
Al Roche for $5. No message. Thank you. Patricia Howard for $4.99 says we love you, Artie.
His mom again. That was another sock account of hers.
All right, guys. It's been great. Have a good night. I'll see you next time. Yeah, leaving. Bye. Bye.
His mom.
Boy, you're getting so much love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm really getting so much love right now. So much love. So much love.
Patricia Howard says we love you, Artie.
I appreciate that, Patricia, who is not my mom.
Patricia's Corporate Fiction is her actual channel name.
Oh, my fucking God.
All right.
All right. Back to it. So, Proud American 1984, new member, welcome to the bunkers.
Thank you.
Eva Roberts for $5 says, as former law enforcement, I do appreciate Natalie's perspective. Personally, I wouldn't debate any of these folks anymore.
Oh no, I love debating them because they always show up empty-handed, and it's just like a cat toying with a mouse. It's very fun. Yeah, Mike, if you've never debated a frauditor or a soft sit, then yeah, find one and just hound them until they agree. It's so much fun.
I've only done it in the comments, but yeah, it does make good videos.
It does, yeah.
At the expense of your heart.
Yeah, you lose a bit of your soul, but it's worth it.
All right. Liz Lecky Swanson for $5 says, isn't it how you disseminate the footage that could be troublesome? What you do with the footage?
That's a question for the lawyers. I can't speak to that.
What is the question?
Isn't it how you disseminate the footage that could be troublesome?
Like the footage of a crime scene, or
I think he's talking about when you that and needing release to show somebody's video.
Well, it depends on whether or not you're making money off of it. If you're making money off of it, then that person who you film, in my mind, I'm not a lawyer, in my mind, they would have some sort of claim on at least a portion of that revenue unless they signed a release.
Right.
Yes, or another thing you deal with is like was that COPPA or whatever. Like if you got a minor, I mean, you might have the right to film them because you're in public, but you can't put it on YouTube. You could have all sorts of trouble with it or any other place.
Right. Yeah. Another problem with filming minors is they always got that coal dust all over them.
I knew you were going there. I fucking knew you were going there.
Yeah, they got that light on their hat.
All right, moving on.
Hard hat with the light on it. Like,
yeah,
you can't even tell who that person is.
If there was a trap door.
All right. Michael Krause for $4.99 says, Natalie, I have an off-the-wall question. Do you have an email I can send it to you? It's relevant to me.
She has one. I can give it to you.
I gave him her email already.
Fine, thank you.
I just wanted to read the super chat. Asher 1776 for $5 says people have gotten some of Furry's videos taken down with that.
Yes. And Furry Potato, as much as she claims to be a First Amendment auditor who just loves, free speech and just wants to spoon free speech as she sleeps, she consistently tries to copyright strike the Masshole Report when they talk about her during live streams. So just like PayPal Patty, these people don't really believe what they say they believe.
I don't know.
Nope. Okay. Michael Krause for $9.99 said, why would you want Windows on a sub? Is Tina looking for her heart diamond that Adam gave her without Eve knowing? LOL, we pick on her because we love our senior citizens.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
I I don't know if y'all know this, but Tina was an actual survivor of the Titanic sinking.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was
my
there with
God.
her grandkids, and somehow they all made it.
Yeah, they were floating on a door, I think, weren't they?
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, her and her grandkids, they all made it off safely.
Moving on.
All right. Eva Roberts for $5 says, "Do not diss Artie's singing yet. He knows plenty of musicians, and we can do it better." All right. That's it for super chats. I'm caught up. Oh, wait.
All right.
One just came in. Little Dickens for $2 says, "No, the frauditors show up with an empty head." Schrodinger's cat.
Brainy has one, but you don't have to read it. How about that?
Oh, Brady Beaver?
Yeah.
Oh, Brainy Beaver's here. Welcome, Brainy Beaver. I'm not looking at the chat right now, so I can't see who's here and who's not here. But welcome, Brainy Beaver. Awesome dude. But yeah, if he super chatted, we're gonna read it.
No, you don't have to read it.
We're gonna read it.
No, you don't have to.
Cliff does because I said that he does.
All right.
I got a jet, so say it.
You had a super chat? I don't see it here.
Yeah, 2 just came in.
Brady Beaver, $2 Canadian. They could have both fit on that door.
Thank you, Artie.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, okay, yeah. It just came in for me. I'm lagging. So thank you. And Fog Repair Ship Akashi for $5 says, "It's a stupidity exchange. With Flurfs, it's IQ points and faith in humanity you lose. Look at FTFE versus Santos. Nuclear dumpster fire of insanity."
Oh my God, that was so bad.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Santos, he says he's a flat earther, but he's also a sovereign citizen, isn't he?
He is, yeah. And he said that, like, he has guaranteed that within 6 weeks, Craig is going to be dead from the
What?
From the vaccination.
Oh, that's a running meme by a lot of these anti-vaxxers. They genuinely believe that all of us who have gotten vaccinated are going to be dead within the next year.
Where are the bodies of all the fucking people who've gotten it already?
Well, within the year. So they think that by 2023, there's going to be bodies everywhere.
Why?
No. Well, he said within 6 weeks, and
Why?
Craig's response was, "Well, my wife was vaccinated more than 6 weeks ago, and she's still here." And then he changed it to, I think, 6 months.
Oh, yeah. Backpedaling always looks good.
Right. So, but I got my second dose yesterday. So let's see if I'm still here 6 months from now, and if so, then Santos loses. But Artie, you said you had a funny video.
Why?
I did, but I mean, we got sunk into the rabbit hole of super chats. Hold on, I gotta bring it back up.
You're just jealous.
Oh, jeez, Tina, this just twisting the knife.
He just called.
All right, I'm well aware of Tina's salt, but you know what? If we're gonna trade barbs, it's gonna happen.
Bring it.
All right, here it is. All right, you guys all know about Eddie Alexander Banks.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta bring it up.
Well, I don't think you guys have seen his. I know you guys. I know some of us here have seen his more recent ones. I don't know if you guys have seen his. The one that he did after he cried, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah." He came back again, and he came out with even more hilarious. It's a quick one. It's only 5 minutes, so I think this is a good one to leave out on.
Let's watch this. What is wrong with these people?
Wonderful. I don't wish to board your vessel, but that box right there, if you can drop some documents in there and just stamp one copy for my receipt, I would greatly appreciate it.
Board your vessel.
I've seen this.
You can't put it in a box?
No, you actually have to do it.
Can you wheel it? Can you wheel it up so I can?
It's got to be plugged in. It's got a timestamp machine on it that's plugged into the wall. Plugged into the wall so it doesn't lose its time.
He's afraid to walk across the floor.
He's afraid to go across security, which to him means it's boarding the vessel.
Boarding the vessel. God damn.
Where do they
Right,
come
joiner
up
and
with
all
this
that.
shit? Like, honestly.
Maritime Admiralty law and
But
Eddie Alexander Banks follows the David Windmiller quantum syntax grammar thing, where they literally
Oh my
treat
God.
courthouses as though they are ships at dry dock.
The thing to me is, being a retired Navy officer, maritime law is an actual thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have fuck all to do with courthouses.
But the fact that they brought they're playing pretend, and they made it like the rules of, well, if we cross this part right here, that's boarding the vessel, and that'll
Right.
be the captain's whatever, and that'll be that.
So my response to them would be cite chapter and verse. What maritime admiralty law are you citing?
Yeah.
I don't think they have one. They only, because I don't want to go too far deep into it, because they only think that the federal law is either common law or maritime admiralty. If it's not explicitly stated as common law, in other words, how the courts operate, they just assume it's maritime admiralty and act according with all this jargon. That's basically it.
But they can't cite it.
No, of course not.
I don't wish to. Could you summons me a marshal, please?
Summon the marshal!
Wow.
They should have a great big gong, like, next to them. It's just like, bong.
No. They should
Like,
break
or a
out
giant...
candles and then a Ouija board.
Oh, no, a light that they shine up into the sky with, like, the marshal symbol on it.
Yeah.
What's he trying to get?
He's trying to file some documents, but he doesn't want to board the vessel but the filing, the timestamp for the filing is right across. You can see it across the hallway. That's all he's doing, is to drop off his BS documents.
Yep.
They should just say no.
So for
Marshall, no.
Artie,
I can't.
for Artie and Mike, when you file documents, this isn't how this goes? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now everything's online. But
You don't have a camera with your neck beard, like, in
You want to
frame?
identify yourself? First and last name.
Bill Rippey.
Bill Rippey?
It's
Are
not
you a
nice to
marshal
say
or
names.
security?
I'm a federal CSO.
CSO. What is that?
Security officer.
Court security
Yes,
officer.
sir. If you'd like to step out here, I'll show you the paperwork on it that's posted on the door.
I've already,
You can't come in with it.
I've already dealt with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you?
They took down his notices to seizure.
We the people have the power, sir, not the
Oh,
corporate
my God.
construct you're representing right now, sir.
So he's not a person.
I would like access.
Nope.
If you could.
It's ask and answer. You're not gonna play one CSO against another.
Are you a marshal?
Ask and answer.
He just said he wasn't a marshal. He's a
Yeah.
CSO. Like,
Yeah.
come on, get with the program, dude.
And again, he starts to ask and answer. We're not going to take your documents, stamp them, filed, and hand them back to you. No.
I'm simply here to demonstrate power and authority of we the people. I don't wish to harm you or disturb your operation. I understand.
Kindly put your mask on.
I do not wish to engage in a broadside.
Right.
Have that on.
Hmm.
Of course, he's an anti-masker.
Yes, sir. Can you assist me, please? I don't
Oh,
wish
they're
to board your vessel. I have some documents. I would like to drop them in a box, stamp one for my return, and I'll be out of your hair. That's all I'm requesting.
So, Tino, just pause for a second. We need to going forward, like when we send people links, instead of them clicking on the actual link, we need to have it somehow say, instead of the link that they're clicking, it's just like a little box that says "board your vessel."
Oh my god, Keel Hall.
Right, and that way, anybody in my live stream, I have maximum authority.
We're missing the best part is coming soon. This isn't even the best part.
Right there. I'm asking you to process because I don't want to board your vessel because you have certain procedures and policies. So I'm asking, will you honor the request? No.
No.
Thank
No.
you.
Nope.
What I'm going to do, I'll go disrobe. When I come back, I would like your business card, first and last name. Write it down on a piece of paper, and I would like your business card. Is that acceptable?
I'm not going to give you a business card because, like you said...
Can you write down your first and last name?
We'll see about that when you come back, all right?
You'll see about that. I don't wish to attack.
And so when you do come back, did you get your tips or take?
I'll be right back.
I say this all the time, but I'm going to say it again. What did he think was going to happen?
It's not his first time being there. So.
Right.
He's not a Moorish American. He is not. He is David Wynn Miller.
Oh, that's where he needs to go right there. They have Bud Light.
There.
Oh my God. Is he a Hebrew Israelite?
No. Again, he is full on David Wynn Miller flavor sovereign citizen.
So he's like a one-off.
He is a one-off in terms of David Wynn Miller's strategy of belief. He's not a Hebrew Israelite. He's not a Moor. He's not any of that. He is David Wynn Miller, quantum syntax grammar bullshit.
Right. Because you've seen the Hebrew Israelites. They dress up like Power Rangers.
Yeah, but no. This is his costume. This is his one-off fucking custom cheetah Dalmatian costume, complete with the fucking U.S. Seal of the United States pin.
That's the thing. Like immediately before you even open your mouth, people are like, "Oh, we got ourselves a dum-dum."
Oh yeah.
And that's why I feel like the officers were as calm as they were, because they know who he is. They've seen him before.
They're just they're like, "Oh, this is
like guys, it's Eddie. Eddie's here again."
What's the little chain like holding? And you can tell he's in a tropical place, so he's got to be way
Florida.
too hot.
Wait.
Florida.
Did he have this on when he went in? And
Yes.
Yeah.
Seeing it now?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
So imagine him casually walking up in that robe to these guys, telling them, "I don't wish to board your vessel, but I want to file this paperwork."
This is so great. Oh
Bullshit.
my God.
This is bullshit.
That we the people go through.
And that's it. That's a very quick and easy.
Oh my God, that was that just happened. Like, I'm just gonna say that just happened. Like,
People are saying in the chat, of course, Florida.
oh yeah, of course, Florida. Yeah.
Oh, it's not just Florida, because he's also big in Washington State, and another attorney sent me an email as a small world because they were representing an apartment against a tenant who hired him in an eviction hearing.
Oh, jeez.
And they had his paper. They sent me a link to all of the paperwork that he filed. Some tenant hired him as his representative in Connecticut in an eviction hearing.
Well,
oh my God.
Pendergrass was busy.
Yeah, Pendergrass was busy at that time.
Yeah. So, do we have the? I don't know if we have this at hand, but the quantum grammar Hawaii guy. That
God,
that he just keeps saying semicolon or no, was it semicolon or colon?
hyphen.
Yes,
hyphen. Yeah, the hyphen guy.
Hyphen colon. Yeah.
That guy. How did he even like? And this is a running thing with me. Like, I always ask, and people are probably sick of me asking, like, how did you think that was going to turn out? Like when this guy just walks into the court and he just tells the judge, he says hyphen like 500 times. Did he think he was going to win?
No.
No, he knows
I don't
he's
think
been
so.
convicted.
I think some of them may be that delusional that they think they're going to win.
They want the attention more than they want to beat the charge, and they're not going to beat the charge anyway because they're guilty of it.
Right. It's sort of like when Anselmo says "wow." Like, is he saying "wow" because he's surprised, or is that just a catchphrase?
I forgot the dude's name.
Imagine not.
I can't remember his name either. I just remember that he had this like pole that had like feathers on top and all sorts of nonsense. I don't know. But I remember there was the original, like, I think he might be the father, like the patient zero of the quantum grammar.
No. He's not. No, he was not. David Wynn Miller is the patient zero.
Right. No, that's what I'm talking about.
But he wasn't the wizard.
There was a phone call with him and a lawyer where they were going back and forth, and he was talking about syntax and all that, and the lawyer's just like finally just like disconnected from the call, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not dealing with you, dumb."
I think I found it. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, this guy's fucking hilarious. Like, it's beyond delusional.
Am I sharing?
No, I don't see you.
I have share screen on. I think I need Natalie or not. Tina.
Yes. I'm sorry. I stepped away for a second. What? I'm back.
I need a share screen. Share my screen.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's the guy.
There's an oral motion by the state to dismiss this case with prejudice that will be granted by the court. So ordered, Mr. Dennis.
I
this
love
case has been
Gandalf.
dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be rebrought in the future. Are we doing in court? Yes, we do. If you'll have a seat, they'll prepare your order of dismissal.
This is the dismissal, but his name is, I've got his name though.
Gandalf.
William Dennis.
Yeah. Well, call him Gandalf.
William Dennis, Hawaii.
But of all of them, he seems really sweet.
I'm not gonna find it.
I have a couple of his stuff too. Which one are you looking for?
He has multiple. There are several of his videos on
Yeah.
here in court.
Do you want any of them?
But his name is William Dennis.
Yeah. Put Gandalf in there. You'll find it. Hawaiian Gandalf, I think it was.
Copyright strike. Copyright strike. Copyright
Right.
strike.
Well, just play that one until Tina can find the ones that she has.
Wait.
It was
Pledge of my peaceful volition is with this claim of this participation, with avoidance of the perjury, by the correct sentence structure communication passe syntax grammar.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis. You may have a seat, and they'll serve you with your order of dismissal. Next case.
I haven't seen that one.
All right, it's Sovereign
Go ahead.
Citizen. Oh wait, well that's Natalie. Sovereign Citizen Gandalf.
Quantum syntax.
Yeah.
This is the David Wynn Miller. This is the OG, the inventor, the supposed king of the Republic of Hawaii, and also the chief judge of the postal court. If you really wanted to go into batshit insanity, just suffer through an hour of this guy's nonsense. Oh well, I can't find it. I give up.
Ah, shit.
Alright, I'm still looking. Is there anything else?
I got nothing.
But I gotta go though myself anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we could probably wrap it up. It's been going on 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't get paid overtime.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
It always
That's
is.
a good discussion to start.
Yeah. Yeah, the back and forth with where we weren't all on the same page and we still aren't. Like there's minor disagreement. Like that's the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Lest we be in an echo chamber.
right. So I guess let's go around the room and say goodbyes. We'll start with Mike.
All right, thanks for having me again. It was fun as always. Like I said, I really liked the first discussion, just kind of the way it went. You know,
Yeah,
it was interesting, and it was a good time as always.
Yeah, plug your channel and plug your shit.
I want to talk with Mike. Come on over and see us. Don't worry about it. It's fabulous. And Artie, I did not play video games.
Yeah. We have super chats yet.
Oh yeah, I guess there may be some for the people here. So Mike, if you want to hang around for super chats, in case there's some for you.
Okay.
Go ahead. Cliff.
He's frozen. Oh no, he's not.
No, he just looks at.
Okay, let me get back up here. So Mike Engels for $5 says, "Hello, Mr. Cat and everyone else on the panel. I'm so glad I accidentally found your channel a month ago. Primo content, and thanks for your service."
Thank you as well.
So James Butler from earlier said the YouTuber Twitch streamer Natalie was talking about was someone called Hannah Reloaded. I think that all the panel would love her. She does a great job pointing out the stupidity.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, she's done extensive stuff with Marcel Bissett of the Family Bissett.
Oh my god, that guy.
Yeah.
I've done several videos about him.
Yeah.
He's an insane person. Like I'm not saying that as an epithet. I think he legit is insane.
Yeah.
I would say bet minimum he's bipolar. Like the level of mood swings he goes through in a single 20-minute video is kind of frightening.
Yeah, he'll start out all calm, and by the end of the video, he's like naked and screaming into the camera, like
calling people the N.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. Yeah.
Oh no, he drops that all the time. I don't know how he still has a channel.
I've never actually.
I don't think he does, actually. I think his channel got stripped. He's now on Rumble now. He's now on the off-brands.
Oh, let me check.
Floyd got arrested again?
It's
oh yeah, Floyd got arrested again. Yeah.
Yeah. He gets arrested every Sunday. Y'all didn't know that?
Like going to church.
He wants to go to church that badly.
He's got it booked.
Yeah, Marcel Bissett does not have a channel.
I'm so sad.
I'm sad because I was looking forward to content.
Like you won't find any now. Jeez, but might as well shut it down.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Cliff?
All right.
Yeah. So we got a new member here. Vero Kustaki 86, welcome to Skeptics.
Thank you.
All right. UKPI for £2 says, "Dad, can you tell me what a solar eclipse is?" "No, son." Get it?
Oh,
yeah.
I think that I have to leave now just because of that one.
It took me a minute. I was like, what?
Yeah, me too.
This is the worst.
Yeah. Lady Wright for $5 says, "Freedom of press implies a legitimate journalist, not a narcissistic auditor with a camera, deliberately inciting reactions causing trouble and harassing."
Right.
Good.
John F. for $5 says, "He is creating joinders, so he boarded the vessel."
Yeah, that word joinder, it just doesn't mean what they think it means.
Yep.
No, it doesn't.
Melon Head for $4.99 says rights of publicity and misappropriation. Why no one has sued these monetized First Amendment auditors for use of personal images beyond me. Release forms much?
Yeah, and I caught on to this about, it had to be at least 9 months ago, when they say I'm not traveling because I'm not in commerce. But if the video that you upload to your channel of you getting pulled over is monetized, then that's commerce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Lady Wright for $5 says, Eddie is my hobby. I've spent hours researching him and spoken to him one-to-one. He's way out there, unfortunately getting angrier.
Oh, that would be great to get him on a live stream.
Caucasian Sensation for $5 says, hey, Mike, traffic outside your city, Chicago, is stupid tonight. Good to see you guys.
Hi.
And Lars for Australian $5 says, this is a source for Quantum Grammar. Quantum Grammar channel. Please tear the insanity apart sometime. Also, love all your content.
Well, thank you very much.
And I believe that's it for Super Chats. Yeah.
All right. So I guess next we can go to Artie for final thoughts.
I'm just going to say that, you know, unlike apparently Tina and Sugar Cat, I have the youth to be able to do two things at once, which is play games and participate in a live stream. So don't put it all on me that you guys are incapable of multitasking. But I appreciate it nonetheless.
I'm also
of having
producing.
Me on. Appreciate it nonetheless for you having me on, and I can't wait to do this again next time.
All right. So I guess we're done with the whippersnappers. Cliff, what do you got to say?
Thanks for having me as usual. It was good fun. Thanks everyone for super chatting. Love you all. Have a great night.
And Tina.
I just want to go home.
You are home. Like, you're literally home right now.
I mean, I want to be alone.
Oh, well, that's gonna happen here in just a minute. Was that your final thoughts?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you said that was your final thoughts, and you said stuff. So
just wrap it up. Oh, and wait. Actually, no. Don't forget the bracelet.
The fucking bracelet. Okay, so everybody wants me to buy this stupid expensive Tiffany bracelet for the wife. I'm working on it. I just haven't seemed to walk the 300 feet to the Tiffany store that's here in Waikiki yet. But I will.
You have all the rest of the day to do it.
Yay. It is 3 p.m. here, so I guess I could.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so thanks everybody for showing up. The lawyer shows are always a ton of fun. It's like educational, and we get to laugh at stupid. So thanks everybody that super chatted and everybody that was watching. I don't know when. Well, actually, yeah, I do know. I think Wednesday I'll do a premiere. I'll be sitting in the airport while the video premieres, waiting for my flight to back to the mainland. So that should be my next video, and I'm going to continue to make a concerted effort to bring you top shelf, unmitigated stupid. And good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.